Well, we're taking a stab here and a guess that the GTA 6 Trailer 3 will be dropping today, May the 5th, Cinco de Mayo, basically exactly 1 year since they did GTA 6 Trailer 2. Now, the reason that we think this is they are heating up. They're doing interviews. They're talking. Strass Zelnick just did an interview. I've got a video on the channel. He talked about how the expectations for the game are terrifying. Billboards are showing up, and we do know there is that earnings call. And just like last time, I think they want to get that trailer out before the earnings call to help with pre-orders, to help with their stock value, which Take-Two stock value is starting to go up and rise, probably in relation to the fact that Strass Zelnick is out there saying things like, hey, there is going to be a bunch of people taking the day off on November the 19th. And somebody says clickbait at its finest. It's only clickbait if you're too dumb to read the description, so be mad at yourself. I said in the description that I think we get it today. Nobody's actually ever had the official number date of a trailer coming from them since the first one. So it's your own fault if you think that the stream title or the description is bait. Read the description. That's basically how YouTube works. You can't put the entire description in the title. The title is, we're waiting for it. We're waiting for it to show up. I think it's coming today. If you can't be bothered to read the description, maybe use YouTube better. That's, again, your own fault. But we end up doing stuff like this because we think it's fun. We think that we have the date. We think we have a good hunch that it's today. Again, I think their marketing is heating up. I think that they're going to be pushing marketing pretty significantly in May leading up to showcase season. And we did hear pretty much last year that they were going to be doing something with PlayStation. That was another thing that was confirmed in the Bloomberg interview. There is some sort of a marketing deal with PlayStation. And when those rumors started surfacing and when those things started coming out, they started saying, hey, there's going to be some kind of a PlayStation marketing deal with PlayStation and Rockstar inside of May, which is right before earning calls and things like that. Also, the last trailer was almost exactly 1 year ago. Yeah, if you can't be bothered to read the description, you click the link first, though. The description's right next to it. Here, I'm going to teach you guys how to use YouTube. Since you want to throw around the word clickbait, let me show you how to use YouTube, since apparently you're on YouTube and you guys don't know how to do it. If you search GTA 6 right now, you see what's really interesting is there's these little things called descriptions right next to them. If you come to my channel, there's these little things called descriptions right underneath the video. Nobody sees something like this and thinks that, like, oh, it's definitely coming out. There's been a reveal. There's been a release date. Everybody knows that there's a waiting room for stuff like this. We've done it before. If you don't like it, you can find somewhere else to hang out for the day. I don't feel like putting up with you guys doing that today and running negative narrative. We're just trying to hang out and wait for a trailer and have a good time. Bring the vibe down. Take a hike. That's what I'm going to say. Don't really feel like dealing with people who don't even understand what the word clickbait means. So then explain why the clickbait. It's not clickbait. We did this the last time. There were rumors, there were hunches, there were predictions that the trailer was coming, and we did a waiting room. It's not clickbait. If you think it's clickbait, I don't know what to tell you. I don't get that. I get an alert notification with the title for your stream. Yeah, but it just says waiting room. It doesn't say that it's coming. Nothing says that it's official. Nothing says that it's here. It doesn't say GTA 6 trailer reaction or reveal or announcement. It says waiting room. We're waiting for it. I think it's going to come today. It's a hunch. You know what I mean? That's all it is. I think it's coming today. It's been exactly 1 year. We know their earnings call is right around the corner, and this is what they did last time. They hit right at the beginning of May on a Tuesday. They did it at like 9:30, which would be in like 10 minutes. So it's just a hunch. I mean, I could change the title and thumbnail to, I think the trailer comes today. I mean, if you think that would be more accurate or something to that effect, I think it's coming today. That's why we're doing this. You know? That's the definition of clickbait. No, that's not the definition of clickbait. Clickbait is when you say, watch me open 18,000 Pokemon cards, and then it's a video where that doesn't take place. This is a waiting room for a trailer. That's what the description and the title states. That can't be clickbait. That's literally what we're doing. I don't know what to tell you. Question is, what would the new trailer show? Cars, some explosions? I think it's time for them to start showing gameplay. Like, I think they need to show gameplay. I don't think you can keep doing the cinematic thing. You know, I think they're just doing the cinematic thing in those initial trailers is fine. But I think if in the year that the game is coming out, I think you have to show gameplay. Didn't they have to launch the trailer early because it started to leak last time? That was trailer 1, right? Trailer 1 was premiered, and I'm sorry, it was scheduled to premiere on YouTube. And whenever you do that, unfortunately, you have to upload the video to YouTube, and it's just sort of like sitting there. And whenever that happens, anybody with access to the back end of YouTube can grab that, and that's what happened. Somebody somehow got it in the, you know, from the back end of YouTube and distributed it. The problem is he distributed and he slapped his stupid crypto all over it. Thank you, Xander Games. Good morning, all. Thank you for 12 months. I appreciate it. Oops, I didn't get my stuff out. Let's do this. And there's my controls. Thank you for the $2. K.co. Maybe a question mark wouldn't hurt. Here we go again. Do people not know what a waiting room is? Like, I don't understand. Like, a waiting room is, we think it's coming today, we're going to wait for it. There's nothing in the topic or the title that indicates it's here. We've done this before. Xander with a Prime 12 months, thank you. The last time there was a bunch of, you know, rumors and leaks and people were analyzing pictures and they thought they knew the date the second trailer was coming. So we just did a waiting room. And this time we made our own prediction. I was like, I bet you they do it on Cinco de Mayo. I bet you they do it on the 5th. It's been exactly 1 year. They're going to want to get it out before the earnings calls. So I'm here expecting the trailer counter in a waiting room and I get you. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to tell you guys. Here, I'll change the title so that people can calm down. I don't want anybody bedwetting this early in the morning. I think the GTA 6 trailer 3 drops today. And then in parentheses, waiting room. There we go. Everybody can calm down. The title now says, I think the GTA 6 trailer 3 drops today. Can we now have a conversation instead of mauling in the chat and crying about something? This is such a basic thing that people do, where you think something's going to happen, so you do a waiting room for it. We do this. We did this with the last trailer. I'm here for the opposite reason. I came for you, not the trailer. Too late, my bed is drenched. I wonder if GTA 6 Reddit has put their Einstein hats on, putting out some crazy theories. I mean, there were people looking at a license plate that said May, and I'm like, listen, none of those things ever turned into anything, right? None of those things turned into anything. There was the moon, there was the license plates. There were so many things people analyzed. There were guys that worked at the company that were like posting things on Instagram. And everybody thought, oh, this is it. We've got it figured out. It all turned out to be nothing. I don't think any of that ever leads to anything. This is quite literally just me looking at the calendar and saying this would be the perfect day to drop the next trailer. You know what I mean? That's it. Like, you know what I mean? I joined your page last year. I was making a GTA joke. Listen, I tell you what, you could take the day off then, Metal Matt. I mean, if that's how you want to talk to me, settle down. Everybody crying about clickbait here. Apparently already watched the Steam just broke the industry vague nonsense. Yeah, I don't know I don't really did. Dan with 33 months in American Plus. Good morning, all. Trailer 2 dropped while we were in morning coffee last year. Appreciate the community. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Dan, for 33 months. Let me add you to the total. Enjoy with 35 months. Rockstar hasn't posted their normal post on Bill yet, which they usually do hours before Twitter. Suspicious if you ask me. Thank you so much. It's Enjoy. I'm not sure what you mean. You're going to have to expound on that. When is their shareholder meeting? I believe I looked this up the other day. Hang on. When is the next Take-Two earnings call? Is it 21st? May 21st. Yeah. May 21st. Lone Osaros Platinum. I mean, if I get it, I get it. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to fight for it. I don't necessarily think that that's going to be something I'm going to fight for. I liked getting it in Returnal only because I was like 100%ing all of the weapons, and it just sort of happened by sheer, like, it was like I had one more to get, and I was like, well, I might as well do it, you know? That's... Lona had a special itch. Yeah, it's like when it's gonna rain. I read the patch notes for Saros. I didn't see anything significant. They haven't really acknowledged that some of the bosses can glitch out. I'm not sure if they're going to acknowledge that, but we'll see. Joker Quinn, hang on. I forgot to thank you for this. Let me refresh. I don't have my fan funding page up. Joker Quinn, I think you already gifted one. Let me get you credit for both of those. Let's see here. No, that's the wrong chat. There we go. Zinthos did a VIP during show open, and then Joker Quinn gifted a member as well. Thank you so much. And there we go. How far did RD2 gameplay trailers drop before release? People have done like calendar analysis of like the previous marketing structures to see like, well, when do they start dropping stuff? Because I think it's within 4 or 5 months. What they do is they do screenshots, then they do gameplay. It's never been the same. I remember there was somebody did like a side by side of like what they had all done with the previous games. It wasn't consistent. There wasn't like a consistent pattern or theme about when they do. Like this time, I wasn't even doing that. In previous times, it was like, okay, let's look at the timelines. Let's look at what they did last time. Let's see how they did it. I was just like, I think they're going to do it because it's Cinco de Mayo. We know the locale, is basically Miami. So I don't know. It just made sense to me. It's like, it's been exactly 1 year since trailer 2, and lower the amount of power gained from power generator weapon trait. Best game out maybe now, but biggest game certainly not. Best game maybe not, but biggest game? You think it's going to be oh, you mean like biggest release? Oh, yeah. I mean, if you go read the interview with Strass Zelnick, he literally says that like the expectations for the game they're terrifying. It's like, I think they know. I think there's a handful of things working against them. Number one, people have waited for a really, really long time. But I also think when you delay your game multiple times, you automatically increase excitement. The original launch was supposed to be now. No, I thought it was May 26th. I don't think it was May 5th. I think the original, well, not the original release date. The original release date was like fall of 2025. Then it was May the 26th. Oh, you meant May. Okay. You're focusing on running shotguns. They are fun. There's the one that has like the alt fire that lobs a grenade that can be pretty good, but overall I don't find them to be that effective. There are weapons in Saros that are significantly more effective than others. And so it just like yeah. Rockstar said console gamers are the core fanboys and money-making base. I don't know if he said money-making base. I think you're adding to what he said. He said they're the core audience or the core consumer. And I think we know, looking at the numbers from like GTA, online, they know where the money comes from. And they know with PlayStation saturation, going there first was always going to be a strat for them. They also like people to double dip. I think that's definitely part of the strategy. GTA has been purchased how many times? By GTA 5 in particular has been purchased how many times by people who like want the game in multiple places. You changed the name of the waiting room to I think it drops today. People were really upset claiming it was clickbait. I thought waiting room was pretty clear that we were guessing it comes today and we're waiting. Like, we don't have an official announcement. I've never claimed to have an official announcement. The description literally says, I think it drops today. So I just put it in the title. Babbling Bike with 45 months. Let's get it, Lono, another month, another milestone. Thank you so much, Babbling Bike, for adding to the total on the member count. Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. Maximizing sales before giving the games to the Pirates just makes sense. I mean, I don't know how many people pirated it. I'm ashamed I got to the King last night, and I died, and it was late. I had to quit in order to be well-rested for work. I died to the King once. I died to the King once. I didn't have mods. I didn't run biomes beforehand, and I just wasn't strong enough. So, waiting room always means we're waiting for something that's about to hit. I see waiting room is knowing that something is coming, but didn't care about the title. We just did this with trailer 2, and nobody cared, because maybe it was because at the time the general murmuring in the YouTube and Reddit space and Twitter was that the next trailer was coming. Everybody thought, oh yes, this is the day. There were all these theories, there were all these conspiracy, like, you know, image breakdowns of like, oh, it's coming today. And so maybe people were just more accepting of like, yeah, we think it's coming today. Let's all sit around and wait for it. This time it's my own hunch. There's not a single, I think all those image breakdowns when people looked at the moon and license plates and pieces of paper and everything else, I think that was either some of the devs were, I think, having fun with us and like messing with us. Some of that was just people coming up with wild theories. This time, nobody's been saying anything. We looked at the calendar. We looked at how quiet things were getting with other companies. And we looked at the fact that all of a sudden Strass Zelnick's doing interviews with Bloomberg and everything else. And I'm like, they're getting ready. They're getting ready to kick things off. And I think they'll kick things off with a third trailer. And I thought today was the right day. They'll delay it again. No, I don't think so. Strass Zelnick just did an interview with Bloomberg. And he just joked in Las Vegas about how a bunch of people are going to be taking November the 19th off. I don't think he would be doing that. 16 days from now, they do their next earnings call. I don't think he would be setting the stage and then being like, oh, just kidding, it's getting delayed again. That would actually be pretty bad. It would be bad for their share value. I mean, it would be bad for a lot. He gave a lot of assurances in the past about GTA 6 and the release date. But I don't necessarily think it was this sort of like, oh, I'm going to sit down and do interviews and I'm going to joke about how a bunch of people are going to take off on November the 19th. He just kept talking about how they were confident in the date last time. This time, he just seems to be just like talking about it as if it's a thing. It's like, well, yeah, it's coming, so people are going to be taking time off. I don't think you would do that 16 days before your earnings call. Thank the YouTube family for gifting me a membership over there. Oh, no problem, Alice1. Yeah, I think the date's locked. I think they're going to hit November. I think the date was locked when Wolverine picked its release date. I think that was PlayStation being like, we need to give this game, a wide berth. They didn't want to be anywhere near GTA 6. And given that there is a marketing deal, this was something that Strass Zelnick, passively confirmed. He sort of passively confirmed there is a marketing deal with PlayStation in this interview with Bloomberg. And that, to me, would mean that PlayStation and Rockstar and Take-Two, they started locking in whatever's going to be going on. They were locking that in, and when they locked that in, they were like, okay, we need to pick a good date for Wolverine that isn't going to get walked on. Because you have to think about something. October is now very precarious because October is a lead-up to the launch of GTA 6. So October is probably going to be full of info drops, screenshots, leaks, trailers, who knows, gameplay. And that's just going to be a tough month to be releasing your game in. Who knows the release date? How many people? Just best guess. You mean at the corporate level, Zoob? I mean, what do you, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Don't get me started. I want a Wolverine State of Play right now. I don't know if you're going to get a Wolverine State of Play. They did that with Yote, though. I thought we were going to get a big showcase of Yote in the summer, and then they didn't do it. They said, oh, tune in for the Yote State of Play next month. They may do that with Wolverine. Given that Wolverine is the next big release, I think they might give it the Spider-Man 2 treatment, and their State of Play will have like a 15 to 20-minute showcase of Wolvie, same way they did with Spider-Man 2. That was a showcase, so it was a little bit different, but they've clearly shown a willingness to do really long State of Plays. Where do you think the trailer is going to come out today? Or I think you mean, why do I think that? We're exactly 1 year after trailer 2. It's Cinco de Mayo, and they've got their earnings call in 16 days. I think this is the day they do it. Now, if they don't do it this Tuesday, they could always do it next Tuesday. But it just seemed to line up. Cinco de Mayo landing on a Tuesday, the vibe of the game having some of that, like, you know, like Hispanic influence and feeling like it's in Miami. I don't know. It just feels like the right time for a big marketing push. And when we looked at the calendar and then I looked at the news feed yesterday, I was like, it's getting awfully quiet out here. Maybe people know what's going on. Maybe the other companies know something's about to happen. Or at least they sense it. You know what I mean? When? Well, the last time they did this, the trailer hit at 9:30. We're obviously 7 minutes past 9:30. So, I don't know. I just thought today looked like the right day. And we hadn't done anything with the last time they did the GTA 6 trailer as well. I think like somebody said, we were in morning coffee. So we just slapped together a thumbnail and title and then just spent the day reacting to it and talking about it. I think that's what we did last time. Because we were in we used to do members-only content on the channel, and we were in a members-only stream when the last trailer dropped. Yeah, just speculation. It's exactly 1 year after the last trailer. It's 15:37, not 9:30. I think Phantom Blade is a year-long timed exclusive. I thought it was 6 months. To be fair, Lono, Cinco de Mayo is more of a Mexican holiday, and Miami have more of a Cuban population. Well, I mean, doesn't it take place? Where does GTA 6 take place? Yeah, it's a fictionalized version of Florida, which again, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of Cinco de Mayo celebrations happening down in Florida, and, you know, it's not in Miami. It's in a fictionalized place that's very much like Miami. So, it dropped during morning coffee last year, says Dan. Thank God somebody else said it. There isn't Mexican influence in Miami, though. It's mostly Caribbean Latin. Yeah, but it's a fictionalized place. Like, I don't think that I was making a statement about the population of Miami. There's just a vibe that the game has, and it's like, a good day to drop a trailer for a game with this kind of a vibe would be Cinco de Mayo. I don't know. It means nothing in Florida, not California. Okay. I just thought it's 1 year later. It's exactly 1 year later. It's a Tuesday, and it's also Cinco de Mayo. I don't know. It seemed like a good day to drop it. Do you think the people at Take-Two and Rockstar care about that, as if Florida is not already fictionalized? Memorial Day is actually more known for people going to let loose in Miami. I've actually never spent much time there, so I wouldn't know. Miami Vice. I know they have gators in the game. Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be Florida. It's sort of a you know, a representation of. I mean, there's an awful lot of Florida man in the trailer. It's been a rough start. You want to just call it a day and come back tomorrow? Yeah, this has just been such a fun start to the stream. You know, getting educated about the demographics of Miami and what holidays they celebrate, and then being told that a waiting room is clickbait. It's just been real great. Anybody else bored to tears by Crimson Desert? Not the people playing it. The people that played that game have put in hundreds of hours. It's basically like a single-player MMO. Dog Pound Gaming says, Dog, if you don't think people celebrate Cinco de Mayo in America, try to book a reservation at a Mexican restaurant right now. They dropped the San Andreas trailer on Juneteenth, so you might be on to something. I don't know. It's exactly 1 year. That was more of the thing. The thing to me was more of like, it's exactly 1 year on a Tuesday, and it's a holiday. Like, it's a holiday people celebrate. It's a holiday where people are like, yeah, it's Cinco de Mayo. Let's get margaritas and party. And then you look at GTA 6 and you're like, yeah, I could see that kind of lining up with a marketing like, hey, that'd be a great day to drop the third trailer. You know, as luck would have it, they did it last year. It was May the 6th, and it was on a Tuesday. It's right after Star Wars Day, right? So, you know, everybody's done talking Star Wars. And then, and we're 2 weeks away from the next earnings call. I don't know. It just made sense to me. They dropped the trailer a couple days after announcing a delay. I could see them delaying again and doing the same thing. No, they're not going to delay again. There's literally no way. There's literally no way. I do not think Strass Zelnick would be in Vegas joking about people taking November 19th off, doing an interview with Bloomberg. If they were going to delay, they would have already announced it. They would have already announced it. There's no frickin' way. Because their earnings calls in 2 weeks, their shareholders would be furious. You can't have the CEO of Take-Two doing interviews about the game, and not just doing interviews about the game, joking about the game's release date, and then be like, oh yeah, sorry, we have to delay again. I don't think so. They would have gotten that out of the way. I don't think they would not be waiting like this. The delay is the most unlikely. I think it's way more likely we get the trailer today than we get a delay. You know what I mean? If you think they're going to delay again, then I have a bridge to sell you. Where's Jedi 3? I thought there was a trailer. No. You know what's really weird? They never do anything for Star Wars on Star Wars Day. I think yesterday they dropped a trailer for the Mandalorian movie. But they've never really done anything crazy for Star Wars on Star Wars Day. It's always very bizarre. I don't understand it at all. I don't. I mean, maybe they just see it as like, why would we spend any marketing dollars on a day where everybody's talking about our brand anyway? Maybe that's how they look at it. I don't know. Are we just forgetting that the Game Awards literally said that the game comes out on the 19th? Well, I mean, the Game Awards is just reiterating the release date, Mandela. That's something that account does. That doesn't really mean anything. There's no direct correlation, but GTA 6 definitely fits within the party vibe of Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, it wasn't that deep. I wasn't trying to make, statements about, like, Latin or Hispanic culture or where people live. I was just like, yeah, it's Cinco de Mayo. Like, they might drop the trailer. It's Tuesday. I'm in SoCal. People wake up drinking margaritas and eating Mexican food by 9 a.m. on Cinco de Mayo. I mean, it's a good day. It's a good day for a margarita. Last time I remember a big announcement on Star Wars Day was pre-COVID. Yeah, True SSJ Havoc's like, OMG, my bad. No, you're fine. You're fine. It was just like, hey, man, you should know Cinco de Mayo is not really popular in Miami. And I was like, okay. The fact that Lono associates Cinco de Mayo with Florida and Miami is a sign that probably many people do. I just see Cinco de Mayo, and I don't think Mexican. I just think good food, margaritas. I think of, like, Hispanic people having fun, Latin American people. I'm not like it's a Mexican thing. I'm just like, it's just people eating good food and having a good time. Like, I didn't really think too deeply about it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, there's a restaurant we like to go to, and I would go there if we had plans. That's where I would go. And if they would be like, well, we're Cuban, I'd be like, so? You have margaritas and it's Cinco de Mayo. What are you talking about? I bet you they're doing something for Cinco de Mayo. I know that it's Mexican. I just don't think about it that deeply. You know what I mean? I just don't think about it that deeply. I'm just like, hey, it's a fun day to to eat good food and have a good time. Cinco de Mayo and Taco Tuesday. It's perfect. It lines up. It's an American holiday more than a Mexican one. Yeah, I mean, I've never really researched it as a holiday. I just am like, if a holiday hits the calendar and there's good food to be, you need to watch them all later. I just finished season 1, and nobody, let me tell you. I saw a lot of the Star Wars guys complaining about it, but I think that's kind of what the brand they've built for themselves. They have to hate everything that they do. They have to hate everything Star Wars does. When do we start banning fools for saying GTA 6 trailer just dropped? Do you remember that guy, Jack Garland? He would come back for weeks. He came back and would say that. He'd be like, don't ban me. GTA 6 trailer just dropped. It was like, he did it for weeks. It's an excuse to drink. It's very American, says Zubair. I mean, that's accurate. I mean, we're 4th of July, grill out, drink, shoot off fireworks, We're like, Cinco de Mayo, we're like, that's a great reason to go get a margarita. He was committed to the bit. He was. I kind of miss him. Lono, you can enter over 700 locations in GTA 6. That's very ambitious, bro. That to me really does make me wonder if they're going to be doing something very unique to an open world game. Again, we had this conversation like about a week ago about the whole 60 FPS conversation. And everybody's like, it's going to be insane. The city's going to be dense. It's going to be insane. And I was like, I feel like given their ambition, they had to have had some kind of a breakthrough, or there's going to have to be some sort of instancing. I don't see technologically how they're going to be able to do it without some sort of new thing that they've come up with within the engine itself. Being able to just walk into like a pawn shop or a bank, I don't know. It just seems like they had to have some kind of an engine level adjustment or breakthrough or new technology that they've come up with. It just seems like the game's going to be there's just going to be too much going on. Yeah, the people think it's going to be 30 FPS because of that. I just hope they have added a lot of puddle deep content. Like, cool, can you do anything in those? Oh, you're saying you hope they have not added about a bunch of puddle deep content. I don't know how long the loading screen will be. I mean, that's what I said. I said maybe there'll be little loading screens just to kind of like manage the scope and size of the environment. I don't know. I have we played a game that's been like that like you don't get to an area and everything sort of has to like instance in or pop in or load in. I don't know. Is there a game right now where when you're on the other side of the city or the world or wherever it is, the other side of the map, is everything still going on in like a city or town that you're not there? That doesn't seem reasonable. I don't think there's games where that's happening, and I don't know if they're going to do that with GTA 6 either. The adjustment is called $1 billion in funding breakthrough. I mean, money doesn't necessarily solve it, though. You need to have a tech breakthrough. Like, you can throw money at anything, If you're trying to build a skyscraper across a bridge, it might not work technologically. It might the materials might be too heavy. You know what I'm saying? There's just like picture something that seems absurd and trying to do it. It doesn't necessarily mean you can just throw money at it. We're going to colonize Mars. Okay, I mean, you can throw all the money in the world at colonizing Mars. That without a technological breakthrough, we're not doing it. A lot of streamer careers are probably going to get started with GTA 6, probably going to break Twitch records. Oh, forure. They do it in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 in terms of city simulation. So when I'm in Town A, Town F, there's people walking around and doing stuff? We know we can throw money at anything. Just look at Marathon. Fuzzy, you can't get grumpy about everybody saying the same thing about Marathon. If you're going to come in and try to bait people to talk about it, okay? All right? You need to figure out what you want, Fuzzy. What do you want? Do you want people taking cheap shots and saying the same thing about Marathon or not? Nobody's talking about Marathon, Fuzzy. Bring it up, and then you'll bellyache later in the chat that everybody said the same thing about it. Nobody's talking about that freaking game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is like 1/30th the scale of GTA 6. He says, I need a reason to complain. Yeah, he's just in here just baiting. He's just baiting the toxicity. He's like, I dare you to say something negative. He is 100% taking the piss. He's like, yeah, let's just get everybody going off about Marathon. We're not talking about Marathon. Hilly says the 4th is the feast day of English martyrs who died during the English Reformation under Henry VIII's rule. I was in a Protestant church yesterday, made in the style of the Catholic Church, celebrating the remembrance of Catholic martyrs during a Christian unity conference with the Scottish priest presiding. It was a confusing day. I mean, at that point, all you needed was a frickin' nun riding a unicycle, Hilly. I mean, you just throw it all into one building. Jiminy Christmas. Kingdom Come Deliverance had several levels of simulation. For parts not in your immediate area, they're basically just running the numbers. As you get closer, it gets more realized. Yeah, I mean, he's baiting himself. He's probably very familiar with doing that, Trill. I mean, I would say the game cannot conceivably be using processing power when you're on block A and all the way on the other side of the city is block Z, okay? You can't be all the way over there and using processing power to have like that store has like customers and a employee. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't believe that's happening. I don't believe they're doing that. There's no way. Waiting for a delay. Yeah, today's a GTA 6 delay waiting room. Did you see that they're releasing a mystery project that's supposed to be a remastered GTA ahead of the trailer today? I saw it on Gaming Bible. I mean, we don't know if the trailer's coming today. I think that it is. You're speaking as if it is. I don't know if it's starting to get traction, but I don't think a trailer is coming. I think today is a day as good as any. I think they're doing it today. I do. If they don't, we all got to sit around and talk about games and GTA anyway. Like, you know what I mean? We were going to sit here and chat about anything. Like, so why not talk about GTA 6 while we wait for it? We've also been covering a lot of the various stories that have been developing. I published a video last night about the Strass Zelnick interview, so if you guys missed that, those short little news videos that we do to keep you guys kind of in the know. I had finished recording a bunch of Soros footage, and that came across the desk, and I was like, well, I'll put a video out about this. Looking gorgeous, my man. Thank you. I appreciate that. What is the benefit of running the simulation all the time? Right, the idea would be is that when you get there, stuff's happening, but it's like you could certainly do that, and I don't know that nothing was happening 60 seconds prior. GoldenEye 007, best. Oh, you think it's the best 007 film ever? Yeah, I mean, I'm wearing this because of the video game, but sure, yeah, it was good. I liked it. I don't know if it was the best. Lono's not going to play GTA 6 anyways. Everyone knows it's going to be 30 FPS. If it is, I'm not playing. I'm not playing 30 FPS game. Watched you play Star Wars for a bit. How was it overall? I absolutely love it. I watched a guy do a whole breakdown of the story this morning. I think I might try to take that video and source it to. I've got a whole theory about what's going on, and his video really helped my theory. I think I'm right. I think I've got it. Jaggy says people bait themselves with a lack of reading comprehension. Yeah. Okay. Listen, maybe I was just being too presumptuous about, like, we did this before. Everybody knows what it is. Maybe that's on me. I was too presumptuous. I was like, we did this before. I figured everybody would know what a trailer 3 waiting room was. It's a guess. So I changed the title. Like, it's like, I think it comes today. Let's wait for it. Like, that's it. Like, we're all waiting for it. It's a live stream where we could just talk and hang out. Like, there's no foul there. There's no harm there. It's like, you know, I'm anxious about it for a variety of reasons. You know, is it going to be 60? What kind of tech are they going to have in it? What kind of breakthroughs are they going to have in it? What kind of records is it going to break within the industry itself? You know, what's the content funnel going to look like on the live streams and the, you know, and the YouTube platform especially? You don't think there's a chance you give in if it's considered the most technically impressive game ever? No. I'm not doing it. I'm not. There were 30 FPS games that came out that looked pretty awesome, and I didn't play them. I'm just like, no, I'm good. Like, the general vibe of the game doesn't call to me to begin with. Like, I'm interested in a giant open world that's living and doing all kind of insane stuff. Like, that's interesting to me. I like doing that. I did that in Watch Dogs 2. So, like, as a gamer, I'm interested in that, like, as a concept and as, like, a potential thing that you could do, you know, to create your own sort of emergent gameplay. But I'm not like, oh my gosh, a game where we're in a big city committing crimes. I'm not so drawn to that I'm going to overlook 30 FPS. Weezy says, the man has principles. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I refunded Jedi Survivor and never looked back. Yeah, I didn't play Jedi Survivor, and I was really looking forward to it. And I finally did because they fixed it on console. But yeah, if they never would have fixed that, I never would have gone back to it. I went back to Plague Tale Requiem because they updated it to 60 FPS. It ended up being one of my favorite games last year when I beat it. It was quite good. You think Saros and Pragmata are in a heated battle for Game of the Year? I think you're forgetting Resident Evil 9 in that mix. I don't know. It's a tough fight. It's going to be an absolute tough fight. I don't know who can come out on top. I really don't. So I think Saros is definitely competing in a bunch of categories. I think it's got a couple of those categories pretty much locked up. But we'll have to wait and see. You know? I love the GTA games. I'm not even buying 6 if it's 30 FPS, says Dirge. Yeah, Control hasn't come out either. When does the trailer drop? I think it drops today. The last trailer dropped at 9 in the morning, which was an hour ago. I think it drops sometime today. It's been 1 year since the last trailer, and their earnings calls in 2 weeks. And it's a Tuesday. I don't know. We got a hunch about it. I said it. My producer was already thinking it and feeling it, and we were both like, let's just do a waiting room that day, you know? Sorrow's score has gone down. It's down to 87 on Meta and 88 on OpenCritic. What the frick? Why did Nightbot hit him? What did he do? Oh, you typed it.so. It thought it was a hyperlink reverted. The problem with GTA content creators has been posting something about the GTA 6 trailer 3 for almost a year with nothing, so they themselves get clickbaited because they never look at Rockstar socials. People are lying if they don't pick up GTA at 30. I'm not lying, homie. I won't play it. I will not. Grub brought the score down. Was Grub the one who reviewed it at Giant Bomb, or was it somebody else? It's not even. The stupid thing is it's the it is. It's Jeff Grubb. The stupid thing is it's their 5-star scoring system. He gave it 3 out of 5 stars. That gets interpreted as a 60. I bet you $10 if we go and read his review, it doesn't read like a 60. Like a 60 is a bad score. No one sees a 60 and is like, oh man, that's probably a pretty good game. That's probably a pretty fun game. Nobody sees 60 and thinks that. But 3 out of 5 stars gets interpreted as a 60. So like, we've had this debate many, many times, and I've just settled on the belief and the conviction that if you're going to apply to be a contributor to Metacritic, I don't think you should use a 5-point scoring system. I don't care what scoring system you use. I don't care if you think a 7 is good, whatever the frick IGN, why they think that's a good score. I don't care about any of that. But if you're going to apply to be a contributor to Metacritic, it's a 100-point scale and you're breaking it. You're messing it up. It's stupid. Like, I'm not having to go at Giant Bomb or anybody. I just think principally that's just absolutely stupid. You go through the process of applying to be included in an aggregate system that doesn't calculate your score properly. It's like it's a 100-point scoring system. And you're like, yeah, we'd like to be included on that. How do you score games? Out of 5 stars? What? Can they not use decimals? Yeah, I mean, a 3.5 out of 5 stars would certainly be better, obviously. They could just add 5 points. 3 out of 5 is really an 8 out of 10. Yeah, it's just silly. The whole thing's silly. I don't know. He also rated Returnal low, too. That's fine. Jeff Grubb, can have his own opinions about games. He can be incredibly wrong, too. I'm just kidding. Like, he seems like a nice guy and he leaks stuff. I don't have any issues with him. It's the scoring. It's like, if you want to do a 5-star system, you go right ahead. Why would you then apply to be a contributor to an aggregate scoring system that's not based on 5 stars? It's based on 100 points. So you're like, yeah, this wasn't great. It wasn't terrible. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5. And then that gets interpreted as a 60, which is a terrible score. That's not a good score at all. You're never going to go to Steam and see like a 60 and being like, that's probably a pretty good game. The update is a Red Dead Online trailer. Clickbait video, delete the stream now. I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't base it off of anything. We didn't base it off of anything on their actual channel. I base it purely off of the calendar. Why play the same type of game? Sounds like he doesn't like the genre. I didn't read his review. I don't really care. I didn't care that the score came down. It's still in Game of the Year contention. It still has a quantitative advantage in the voting process. Like, 3 outlets didn't think that highly of it. Everybody else gave it really, really high praise. It's got a lot of really, really good scores. They just posted a video of Red Dead. Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. That stuff's all scheduled well in advance. They could still push out a trailer. I mean, whenever they pushed out the Grand Theft Auto trailer last time, there were still other things going on. It's not like they just don't do anything at all. I mean, I don't know. There were people saying that the Rockstar channel had like an extra video, and they were theorizing that it was going to hit. I mean, there's nothing new on the Rockstar Games YouTube channel. 2 weeks ago, they did like a 420 event or whatever. There are people doing that. They go to the playlists and they're like, the Grand Theft Auto trailer playlist, or the Grand Theft Auto trailer playlist, or this playlist has this many more videos. That's all. I did not base my prediction off of that. My prediction was purely based off of, it's been exactly 1 year since the last trailer. It's Cinco de Mayo. And they've got 2 weeks to the earnings calls. It just looked like a good day for the trailer to drop. That's all. I couldn't believe all the zeros I saw for Starfield on Metacritic, and it still scored well. Them zeros really screwed the average. There can't possibly be outlets that gave Starfield a 0. Are you sure you're not looking at the user score, brother? I don't think that's true. I don't think there's one negative review of Starfield from a critic, and it's 40. I think you were looking at the user score, brother. There's no outlets that gave Starfield a 0. That would be ridiculous. I don't know if I've ever seen an outlet do that. That's a user score that you're looking at. They should be forced to score it out of 100% since the site uses that. but I don't really think Metacritic is accurate as verified Steam review or PlayStation Store reviews. Well, you're talking about two different things. You're talking about an aggregate tool that averages the critic reviews versus user scores. I would never, ever, ever go to Metacritic for the user score. It's worthless. Those aren't even people that bought the game. It's usually just angry weirdos who want to take out their like emotional frustrations on a video game. Like anybody review bombing a game on Metacritic, you know what I'm saying? Get therapy. Like that's just, why are you doing that? That user score on Metacritic is the worst, most useless thing ever. It doesn't give you an indication of a game's quality at all. This is the only user review that matters. Yes, that's right. And don't listen to Reforge. Yo, what's good, Alex? Happy Cinco de Mayo. Let's get as drunk as SpongeBob and Patrick with Goofy Goober. There you go. Do you think Sorrow should be considered Game of the Year when it has glitches in some boss fights over a game like RE9, which showed no discernible glitches? That can't be a serious question. You cannot be asking that seriously. The glitches that we've encountered are incredibly minor. They just cycle their damage cycles in weird ways sometimes. Like, I'm pretty sure every game ever that's ever been nominated for an award has had glitches at least to that degree or worse. Like, that's the most minor thing ever. I've not even been able to prove they're glitches. It could just be RNG. I'm pretty sure it's a glitch. I don't think it's supposed to happen. I don't think he's supposed to cycle the same damage cycle twice. I don't think the boss is supposed to do that. That's not a reason for a game to not be nominated. Like, oh yeah, don't nominate it. Why? Yeah, there's a really rare instance where the boss might cycle the same damage cycle twice. Like, what? Like, that would be the weirdest reason to not include something. I mean, for Pete's sakes, Elden Ring won Game of the Year. Do you want to add up all of the weird performance issues and glitches that game had? Like, well, that's not how we measure Game of the Year contention. What's the source? The title of the stream is literally, I think that the GTA 6 trailer is dropping today. The trailer's out. Oh, you got me. You really tricked me. That it's literally me. I think they're going to drop it today. It's just a prediction that I have made. So that's it. I'm the source for the guess and the prediction. I like how you said RE9 doesn't have bugs. Yeah, I'm pretty sure RE9 had bugs. I'm fairly certain it did. There was some weird stuff that happened in that game from time to time. I feel like I saw clips on Twitter of people that were like, there were some oddities that would happen when you played as Leon or something. I can't remember now. So should Crimson Desert get a nomination? It's not about whether or not it should get a nomination. I see what you're doing. You thought you were laying in a trap for me. You think this is my first day on the internet. It's not about whether or not something should or should not. When a game launches in the state that Crimson Desert launched in, I use the same logic for Jedi Survivor, which was a game that I particularly enjoyed once they fixed it. If you launch your game with significant, arguably game-breaking bugs or game-breaking performance, no, I don't think you should be considered for Game of the Year. I don't. I didn't want Jedi Survivor to get any nominations, and I don't think Crimson Desert should be nominated for anything given what they did. They launched a game that was completely unprepared. Its performance was really, really poor and is still not good on console. Like, they hid the console footage from the public. They were motivating people to pre-order with footage that they're never going to experience. The way that game looks and runs on a Series X or a base PS5 is light years of difference from what shipped on PC if you have a high-level rig. And even with a high-level rig, it still, as a game, had significant issues at launch. Like, I love how people in this conversation, they want to ignore that for like a week and a half, the user base agreed with the critics. That game had a terrible score for like a week and a half on Steam. It had like a 60% for a solid week. Now, they deserve credit for quickly fixing it and for quickly turning the score around. They deserve credit for that. But we should not be being like, oh no, yeah, that game should get Game of the Year. No, it got the score it deserved. It launched in a not great state. Then, let's just stop for a second and imagine that it released and it was in perfect shape. You really think it's some earth-shattering game? You think it's an earth-shattering game? You think it's like some generational game? It's one of the most derivative games I've ever seen. Weapon animations, ideas, open world exploratory ideas that aren't even original to them. They had former employees that said they would just see something cool in another game and just shove it in their game. I love that people are enjoying it. I love that it's this big, huge open world and people can have their own adventures and basically play it like a single-player MMO. But there is nothing tectonic, seismic, or influential about that dadgum game. There isn't. Even the people that love it will continually to this day admit it has lots of rough edges. There's tons of bosses in the game that people to this day say are still terribly designed and have significant issues and problems and are very frustrating. There are people that love the game that have admitted, boy oh boy is this thing rough still in lots of places. I put over 200 hours into Crimson Desert and I think it's average, but I kept coming back. I'm on the base PS5. Yeah, I even if the game would have launched in a perfect state with zero performance issues, it's just an extremely derivative game. It's just very large and there's lots to do. Like, you're not praising it for its story, its writing, its voice acting. It's the combat's so original and so amazing. The combat's fun, but I've not had anybody actually make a case that like the combat's some sort of like monumental achievement. I'm glad that people are liking it, but it's just a pretty giant single-player open world MMO that people are getting to live in. The game is awesome, has some jank. I and everyone see cover it. Oh, I and everybody I see cover it loves it every time we open up the game. Yeah, and that's great. And Saros is Returnal 2.0 really? Yeah, I'm not taking. That's got to be some of the weakest bait ever. Come on, like. And Saros is Returnal 2.0. Yeah, sequels tend to win awards. I mean, I don't know if you've ever been paying attention, but like sequels tend to win awards. Sequels tend to get nominated because they expand on something they've already built and they improve it and make it better and deliver excellence, which Housemarque has done. Nothing about Crimson Desert was delivered in an excellent way. Broken boss fights, derivative mechanics that were ripped from other games, terrible performance issues, horrible optimization, and you're gonna compare it to Saros, a game from a significantly smaller studio that didn't do misleading marketing tactics and delivered an excellently built game day one. Everything about it is developed and delivered at an excellent level, and it's a sequel. Which, there's nothing wrong with sequels. If you make a really, really great first game, your next game probably is going to be recognized if it does a good job building upon that, like Death Stranding 2, or Ghost of Yotei, or God of War Ragnarok, or Horizon Forbidden West, or Spider-Man 2. These are all well-built, excellent sequels. Crimson Desert is a brand new game, and it's built within an existing world. Sure, it's built within an existing like lore of BDO, but like people just get really weird about it. It's just like it's a perfectly fine game. It's the most fine game ever, and people got addicted to it because it's basically a single player MMO that you can live in and have a really good time with. That's all well and good, but that doesn't mean that there's something about it that's deserving of like nominations or praise. They could be praised for their fixes. Astrobot won Game of the Year. It did nothing groundbreaking. I mean, Astrobot became a media darling because people absolutely loved it. Like, what are you going to do when that happens? The critics didn't absolutely love Crimson Desert. Even the people playing the game don't absolutely love it. Go read the reviews of Crimson Desert. Go read them. Go read the reviews when the game first came out. Go listen to the people that are still playing to this day and still encountering problems and oddities and boss fights that are infuriating and poorly designed. Astrobot did everything it set out to do at an excellent level, and it captured the hearts of critics and gamers across a broad spectrum. My kids loved it. I loved it. The critics loved it. That's why it won and got nominated for Game of the Year. Astrobot did what it did with excellence and heart and fun. Yeah, you don't, every single time you make a game, you don't have to break new ground. You can just do something excellently, which is why I said acting like Saros is not significant because it's basically Returnal 2. Like, and when you make a really good game and then you make a sequel, Jin Lu, quit spamming. No one knows when it's releasing. Can you read the title of the stream? Do you have the ability to read? It says, I think the GTA 6 trailer 3 drops today. We don't know when. I think it drops today. It's a prediction. Crimson Desert is mid to decent. People get angry when you don't call it Game of the Year material. Yeah, it's just another weird game that's been hijacked in this pathetic culture fight that people buy into. You've been convinced that, like, the media hated it and they don't want it to succeed because it's some Eastern game that, like, appeals to the male fantasy and it's not woke. No, it's a freaking mid-game that's extremely derivative, and it launched in a not great state, and the user score for the game was bad for a week and a half. That's the game that you think is your champion. I think one of the reasons people try to get this way about Crimson Desert is they don't want to admit that they were wrong. They don't want to admit that they were wrong. It was meant to be their Eastern developer champion. And it's just another not super polished game that's not doing anything that significant. And has like a bunch of like not, still to this day, it has a bunch of rough edges. I've consistently seen people complaining about aspects of the game after all this time. Boss fights, glitches, bugs, things that aren't balanced properly, even after all this time. Saros is like that? You're bugging? I don't know what Saros is like. I mean, I do because I've played it. I've actually played it. All the people complaining about it haven't played it. Surprise, surprise. We once again have to hear about how bad the story in Saros is from people who haven't played the game, are dumb enough to believe AI art, fake images, and they have the media literacy of a preschooler. Having to listen to people talk about how bad Saros' story is who haven't even played it. They've not listened to any of the dialogue or experienced any of the cutscenes. You have no idea what that game is about. And I have to keep hearing from people who haven't played it about how it's not that great or, it's not that impressive. Okay. I booted up Crimson Desert day one and played it. And I was like, this is absolutely subpar delivery of a game. Games should not be delivered this way. Talking about the person in chat saying it's mid. It's like that. Means it's good? I do not understand what you're trying to say. Saying Saros doesn't count as a new IP because it's too similar to Returnal is like saying Nex Machina is a different IP than Alien Nation. Well, no, it would be like saying Elden Ring isn't a new IP because it was basically Dark Souls in an open world. Thanks for the stream streak, GDZ. Lono even knows the book connection. Yeah, if you don't have any idea about the Yellow King and the connections to the Yellow King, the people that are analyzing that game have no idea what they're talking about. Lono is being delusional. What am I being delusional about? You'd have to spell out what you mean. Saros is effing mid, he says. You know what sucks? The fact that you think no one likes a certain game because you can't beat a game without it holding your hand. I can't beat a game without it holding my hand? What are you talking about? I just beat Returnal last week on stream without dying once. I've been cruising through Saros rather well. I beat the first boss in Saros my first try. No mods, just got there and beat him. I think I've died in Saros like 11 times in 33 hours? I don't know what you mean. I on stream have beat Sekiro, Dark Souls 3, and Elden Ring. You're just one of those weirdos who watches content about me and you think you know about me. You probably think I'm a tourist, and you probably think, oh, he can't play games that don't hold his hand. And it's like, there are games I don't vibe with. Yes, there are games where I admit I'm not good enough to play this. I put down Ninja Gaiden for that reason. Flat out admitted this game is not something I can hang with. Not good enough to play this. It's outside of my skill reach. But I don't need a game to hold my hand. Like, why don't you go ahead? You go ahead and get a capture card and go play Sekiro and show us how great you are. Do that with Returnal. Do that with Elden Ring. Show us how good you are. If I'm so bad and I need people, I can't beat a game without it holding my hand, then do all the things I've done in front of a live audience. Like, do it. The idea that I can't beat games without holding my hands, there's literal evidence contrary to what you're claiming. There's a handful of times where I put down Ninja Gaiden, and then there was the chainsaw fight in Resident Evil 9 that you weirdo sycophants flock to. You're like, oh yes, look, a streamer struggling with the game. You'll ignore the rest of the time I played the game and had a perfectly fine time. You're like this one instance where, and even in the footage, you can see that the thing stops spinning and you can't pick it up. It glitches sometimes. It did it later at a gas station. It did the same thing. It would stop spinning, and I'm like, I know you're tricking me. And then it would start spinning. It did the same thing later. That doesn't mean I can't play a game without it holding my hand. That's just a ridiculous notion. I'm impressed you first tried the boss in Saros. That's what I mean. Install Saros now and go stream it and play it and beat the first boss first try. Show us your godlike gamer powers. Beat virtually every boss in Sekiro in under an hour except for Ishin. Do it. It's on my channel. I did that. Go ahead. Do it in front of a live audience too, with people backseating and telling you that you're doing things wrong. Wouldn't it be cool to have a site like Metacritic, but instead of gaming outlets, popular streamers like you register and vote on games? I trust players like you over most outlets. I mean, there are YouTubers that I don't know if there are YouTubers that contribute to Metacritic. What makes you think the trailer drops today? It's exactly 1 year since trailer 2. It's Cinco de Mayo. The last time they did it was May 6th, and it was a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday. It's also Cinco de Mayo, holiday. I thought vibe of the holiday would kind of fit with the vibe of the game. And then in 2 weeks is their earnings call, and Strass Zelnick just did a bunch of interviews and talking about stuff, in Vegas. You play games? Yeah, you're currently playing the game of making points in chat that are unsubstantiated because you clearly watch content about me. You don't actually interact with me or my content. I literally streamed Saros day it came out and played at what I would consider to be a pretty proficient level and beat the first boss first try. The day before that, I played the entire game of Returnal, a game that everybody insists is harder than Saros. I played the entire game of Returnal, didn't die once, all 6 biomes, but you're running with this idea like you can't play games that they don't hold your hand. Returnal, a game that's notoriously hard and people don't like playing it because it doesn't hold your hand, it doesn't educate you on meta progression, and it's difficult. You die, you go back to the beginning. I beat Pragmata, Requiem, and RE2, to name a few. I mean, I missed the part where we asked what you could do with your skill in games as if we cared. Like, no one cares, bro. No one cares. Like, getting an ego about being good in games? You notice that I'll just cite evidence that I can actually play games rather proficiently, but I don't get an ego about it because I'll readily admit when I can't beat a game. I'm like, I'm not good enough to play this. Because I don't have an ego about it. Like, I don't care. I beat all games I listed on their hardest difficulty. See? I can't imagine thinking that, that makes you better or something. Like, if you think that adds value to your life, and like adds value to you as a person, I think that's incredibly sad. They're just video games. They're just here for entertainment. You seem to care if you want to bring it up. I didn't bring it up. You did. You brought it up in my chat. You said that I can't beat games unless they hold my hand. I refuted that notion with actual evidence. But I also am willing to admit there are some games I just can't hang with. I'm like, yeah, I can't hang with this. I'm not good enough for this. This is too fast for me. I've said that about the Neo games, and I've said that about Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm like, yeah, I just can't hang. Because I'm 44 and don't have a freaking ego about being good in video games. But I'll point to evidence that disproves a false claim because I care about truth. Like, there's evidence on my channel that I can beat difficult games with a pretty good amount of proficiency. Like, my Sekiro playthrough is pretty dadgum good for somebody that doesn't play Souls games. Like, I don't play Souls games. So I think the idea that you need to be really, really good at games and never make a single mistake is put forth by really, really insecure, boyish men who haven't gotten out of their extended adolescence. And, like, you take joy in watching a streamer mess something up. So, like, I could play a game for 10 hours, get stuck at one part, and kind of fuddle my way through it, and then you'll think, yeah, what a noob, what a trash player. And it's like, that's normal in virtually every game. Like, I recorded last night where I did a full run in Sorrows and I recorded it. And I had boss fights where I was just cooking and making like no mistakes. And then I had a couple instances where I just like jumped straight off a cliff. Like I just missed the jump, just misjudged it, just like right in the hole. Whoop, just like right down into the hole. That's the problem, is you could take that clip and be like, this guy's so bad he misses jumps. And it's like, but that's just normal in video games. You're just going to make those mistakes and those missteps. I'm terrible at games. My playthroughs take at least 2 times the usual amount of time. I try to play on hard most games, though. I typically don't like upping the difficulty. I did that in Jedi Fallen Order. I think that might have been the only game I did that with, where as soon as I finished Jedi Fallen Order, I was like, I want to play that again, and I increased the difficulty. I think it was because the game kind of clicked for me, and I liked it, and I liked... So Jedi Fallen Order was sort of my catalyst into being willing to play Souls games, because Jedi Fallen Order did this really cool thing where like every fight felt like it mattered, even if you were fighting like a goat on like the side of a hill. It was like, oh, this fight matters. There was an importance, you know. There was you couldn't take your guard down. I liked that. I thought that was fun. By the end of Jedi Fallen Order, I felt really good. I was like, oh wow, I'm feeling pretty good. I've got this combat down. I want to see if I can play it at the harder difficulty. That's like one of the only games I think I've ever done that with. It's unusual for me to be like, yo, just make it as hard as possible. Like, that's just not my vibe. If I want to play a game casually, I did that with First Berserker Kazan. I put First Berserker Kazan on beginner, and I was like, I don't really want to play this game on the normal or the harder difficulty. I just put it on beginner, and to me, it played like an action game where you had to really, really land your parries. Like, you couldn't button mash your way through First Berserker on beginner. Beginner is sort of a misnomer. It's not beginner, it's just that you have more stamina and health. Like, you don't die as fast, and you don't run out of stamina as fast. So your survivability goes up, but you still have to land your parries. Like, there are still bosses and enemies in First Berserker that will absolutely trounce you if you're just trying to, like, button mash or not, hit your parries. But, like, I've never felt like, oh, if the game doesn't hold my hand, I can't play it. I need to know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've even made criticisms of Returnal, and I don't think the game needs to hold your hand. But I definitely think Returnal should have done a better job communicating meta progression. And they could have done something where, like, you could pick between you could pick between, like, 3 guns at the beginning of Returnal that, like, maybe you've unlocked, just to give you a semblance of volition and power right from the beginning. There was a brief moment where Lona was into Souls. I mean, kind of. You know what it felt like to me, MGene? It felt like going to a dance class and doing something that was like, okay, I can get pretty good at this, but I just ended up feeling like I was wearing somebody else's shoes the whole time. I just never really felt at home. I've always wanted to go back to Sekiro to feel like, okay, I've got a very, very, fond memory of my playthrough of Sekiro, but I actually am not sure if the go back to Sekiro thing will be. Is that going to be something that I still feel that proficient at, or am I going to be like, man, I just don't vibe with these games anymore? I just don't know. From Fridays were dope. It's like Zono got really into hiking for a couple of months, but then realized he didn't love it enough to keep going. That's kind of what it is. Like, oh yeah, okay, so I beat, some of the cream of the crop. I beat Dark Souls 3, Sekiro, and Elden Ring. Okay. All right. Those are a handful from that genre that you would consider to be, fairly challenging games. And it just doesn't call to me. It doesn't call to me. Don't worry, when you eventually play Night Rain, you will change your mind. I don't think so. I don't think so. If Trailer 3 was coming today, it would have dropped by now. I mean, maybe. I mean, it could land at noon. Lono was spot on, and that's why he is where he is. And the guy who thinks people should care about how good he is where he is. People cared about Lono in Kingsfall because he helped players and encouraged discussion, which is important for his growth, and then changed to mainly discussions. Helping people in discussions are better than, hey, look at me, I'm great at video games. Nobody cares, bro. Oh, in the wrong direction. I see what you're saying, AOZ. Yeah, that's a thing, Jack. A lot of these young bloods don't know who I am. They don't realize that I basically made a career out of running the hardest content in Destiny on hard challenge modes while like talking to chat. Like, you know what I mean? I was running like dungeons and raids. I could run them with a blindfold. Like, and not that Destiny's a particularly difficult game, but it's like they don't realize that like that's where I kind of cut my teeth. I just don't have a strong desire to play games at a hard difficulty. It just doesn't do anything for my brain. Read my last. All challenges. I hate when people do that. I play hard games, but I'm not someone who mocks someone for not touching all challenges. Well, here's the thing that nobody really wants to realize. And I think it's Asmongold who makes this point, is like these games are designed to be beat. So like you beat something that's designed to be beat. Yes, you had the diligence, the skill, and the fortitude to keep at it, but it's literally designed for you to beat it. It's not like, imagine fighting Ishin on a Monday, and when you come back on Wednesday, Ishin's gotten better and faster, and now he's kind of adapting to what you're doing, like what would happen in a PvP game, right? Like in a PvP game, the guy that you're whooping up on Monday and you're almost beating him, what if he gets better? So when you face him on Wednesday, he's suddenly making things harder for you. Now he knows your moves, now he knows what you're going to do, right? Truth be told, Ishin's a really satisfying fight because you're literally memorizing sequences and you're applying the formula of reacting to those sequences. You're responding to the telegraphs. This is why my only criticism of Saros is damage out of the frame, because there aren't good telegraphs for damage out of the frame. There are sound cues, but they're not the best, and because there's a lot going on. That's like my only criticism of Saros, because like telegraphs are meant to give the player an opportunity to mitigate the damage. And one of my only criticisms of Saros is it gets so chaotic and so insane that like you'll get hit by damage from out of the frame. So like input reading? Yeah, like imagine a game that did input reading but to like a high level, Tommy. So like if you don't beat the boss in 10 tries, he starts really, really anticipating everything you're going to do because he's now sort of done an input read analysis of how you play. So if you really, really lean on dodging to the left and then doing a heavy attack, he's going to start to anticipate that and take that away from you, right? Like games that are designed to be beat, getting an ego about that I think is weird. It's like, yeah, you did it. You dedicated the time, the diligence, and the energy to beat it. But that doesn't make you better than another person who just either decided, no, I can't hang, or no, I don't like it, or no, I don't want to. You know what I mean? Yeah, somebody else is doing a GTA 6 trailer 3. He was doing a Hopium stream 26 minutes ago. TGG was. See, I'm not the only one. Look, he was right up here doing it. GTA 6 trailer 3 Hopium stream is today the day. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on the Soros patch? It didn't really do much. I mean, it wasn't that significant. These people who act like they're the best players are more often than not complete trash. They're just running their mouths because they're losers with zero friends. I mean, that's obviously possible. And if Jack says, if you are that good, why are you in Lono's chat? Upload and show the world how good you are and see how they respond. That's why I told him, it's like, I can in one breath say there's evidence to the contrary. You're saying I can't beat a game without it holding my hand. There's evidence to the contrary. There's evidence on my channel of me beating games that are considered to be difficult, and nothing's holding my hand. Like, people remarked when I played Sekiro that I was playing on hard mode because I wouldn't use any of the consumables. Like when I beat Owl or whatever. Clickbait's wild. The title says, I think the trailer drops today. That's not clickbait. That's literally what I think. If you can't read, I'm surprised you're able to type. So, like, you know, people like, you just fought Owl on hard mode, you know. There's evidence to the contrary. I'm not pointing to those instances because I have an ego. Look at how good I am. I'm like, no, there's evidence to the contrary. I can totally play games that are considered to be difficult rather efficiently. But there's also games that trip me up, like Ninja Gaiden 4. Like, Ninja Gaiden 4 is that's just a game I'm never going to hang with. There's too much going on. There was too many things to remember. My old man brain just kind of breaks on the rocks. I'm just like, yeah, there's too much going on here. What is holding your hand in this context? I don't think they even know. It's just a generic platitude they're echoing because they don't have their own thoughts. They're just parroting what somebody else has said about me. Like, that's what they're doing. They literally watch videos about me because that's what YouTube is now. It's just a parasitic landscape of, like, taking other people's content and using it to make them look dumb or bad because that's, you know, that's a great way to get clicks. I mean, there was the time I stopped playing Ninja Gaiden 4. I calmly put it down, praised the game, said I wasn't good enough to play it, and people claimed it was a rage quit. Like, they used AI to make me rage on the thumbnail. And it's like, that's what this landscape has become. Just dishonesty, using AI, you know, using things like, you know, fake thumbnails and fake tweets and things like that. The trailer's out. You do know, like, I'm literally sitting on Rockstar Games YouTube channel, right? I can just quickly refresh it. Like, you're not gonna get me with that. Any updates joins just now? No. I feel like it's going to drop today. If it doesn't drop today, then I would imagine between now and the earnings call, they're going to drop it. Because the earnings call is on the 21st. They basically have 2 weeks to drop it. They tend to not do things that are predictable. One of the reasons I kind of thought it was going to drop this time is there were no hints, there were no clues. They weren't doing that goofy stuff on Instagram, like deleting videos and like posting weird pictures. Like, none of that was going on. So I thought maybe today is the day. You know, they've not been doing any of those hints or anything. It's just been kind of really, really quiet. It have already released this morning. The one time they had the one scheduled, what was trailer 1 originally scheduled? GC says trailer 1 original schedule. They had like the image. Was it going to be at 9 or 10? No, it was going to be at 9. So yeah, trailer 1 was going to be at 9. Trailer 2 was at 9:30. So that doesn't really follow a pattern. One was going to be at 9 a.m. The other was going to be at 9:30. This one could be at who knows when. It could be at 11 or noon or 1. Hidden Syria with the 5 bomb. Thank you so much. We're 5 away. Trailer 1 leaked. I think you're forgetting what I'm referring to. I'll show you. Trailer 1 leaked, but you guys are forgetting about this. Remember this? It was scheduled. They had a thumbnail. They had an image that was all over Twitter. Trailer 1 was 9 a.m. Eastern. Trailer 2 went live at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So like there's not been a consistency. The original trailer was supposed to drop at 9 o'clock in the morning, and then the second one dropped at 9:30. So they definitely like to put them out early in the day. They do. They like to put them out early in the day, which means the farther we get in the day, the less likely it is that it's going to drop. Listen, Cinco de Mayo being on a Taco Tuesday is coincidence enough, says Fuzzy. Asking for GTA 6 Trailer 3 is just pushing too much. It might be. It might be too much willful thinking and hope. Very possible. Am I getting the Sorrow sunglasses? No, I will not be getting the Sorrow sunglasses. As much as I like the game. GTA 6 is not coming out until December 2027 before Christmas. Just watch. Yeah, that's not happening. They're not going to delay it for an entire year. Unfortunately, it sounds like it's on pace, but it also sounds like there are some Glassdoor reviews that hit. If you guys haven't hit the like button yet, could you do me a quick favor and hit the like button right now? That would be super, super helpful. Hit that like button on the video. I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. I pulled up Twitter and lost my train of thought. Hang on, let me reopen their YouTube channel. Lone already has GTA 6 on his Pro. He just want to show us. Yeah. It's currently slated for the 26th. Trailer would have to drop in the next coming days if that's still the planned release. Oh, the Glassdoor reviews. Thank you. The Glassdoor reviews were saying that everybody's having to basically crunch and not being paid for overtime and stuff. Like, it sounds bad. It sounds like they're basically throwing blood, sweat, and bodies at this thing to get this thing out the door. So that's obviously worrying because you don't want that to be the runway for the game coming out. Terrible for the employees. Honestly, terrible for game quality. You end up getting not great work from people when you do that. Sorrow sunglasses. Yeah, I would take a Sorrow's controller. Currently it's slated for the 26th. No, Abe, it was originally slated for the 26th. The GTA 6 release date is November the 19th. Guys, double check that it saved your like. Red Dead Redemption 2 debunked this. Red Dead Redemption 2 debunked what? What are you talking about, Mr. Polar Bear? No reason for crunch for a game development for over a decade. Lies. So you think even though the game's been in development for like a really long time, there still would be no grounds for crunch? You don't think there's a possibility that there could still be crunch needed at the company, at the project? Huh? Yeah, Abe, you've been super checked out. Yeah, it's been November the 19th for a while. I forget when they actually announced that delay. When was that? It was sometime last year, I thought. I think before we even got into this year, it had already been delayed. When does it come out? GTA 6 releases November 19th of this year. That doesn't upload trailers if everybody expects it to happen today. That doesn't upload trailers. The trailer could 100% be uploaded right now. There'd be no way for us to know. If a video is uploaded to YouTube and set to private, it hasn't been put to a draft or unlisted, it's set to private. If it's not on a playlist, you won't know. There's no way for you to know. The video could be sitting on their YouTube channel right now and you'd have no idea. No, John, nothing yet. Name me one industry with deadlines that doesn't have crunch. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, at some degree, development taking this long is actually more grounds for crunch, because they're like, I'm not defending crunch. I'm saying I could see them being like, no, we need to get this thing done. We need to get this thing out the dadgum door. Like, there's honestly more grounds for crunch on a game that's been in development for that long, because it's like, you got to get this thing out the dadgum door. The shareholders have been, given assurances multiple times now. We can't take another ride on this merry-go-round of delay. Trailer 2, they announced it was dropping the next day. I think they will do an announcement before Trailer 3 too. Wait, they did? Is that correct? They did not announce Trailer 2, Melissa. I think you're misremembering. There was an announcement for Trailer 1. But I don't think there was ever an announcement for Trailer 2. That it just randomly dropped, because we were literally in a morning coffee. If we would have known Trailer 2 was coming that day, I would have 100% we would have been ready. We would have been ready to go. They didn't announce anything. Our trailer has leaked, so please watch the real thing on YouTube. Yeah, that was the first trailer. The first trailer was supposed to drop. They only announced this. Yeah, no, but that, again, you guys are confusing timelines. You guys are confusing the timelines again. So trailer 1 had a date that it was going to come out. It had a scheduled time. It was a premiere that was going to go live on YouTube. It leaked. Jenny, thank you for 39 months. So they pushed it out early, okay? Trailer 1 had a date and a time. It was like, this is when you're going to be able to watch Trailer 1. Trailer 2 just randomly dropped on May the 6th of last year. Just randomly. It's been exactly 1 year since then. They've gone super quiet outside of Strass Zelnick doing interviews and stuff. And we looked at the calendar and we thought, hey, Cinco de Mayo, exactly 1 year since the trailer dropped. I bet you they dropped Trailer 3, GTA 6 Trailer 3. I bet you they drop it on May the 5th of this year. It's 2 weeks until their earnings call. Now, if they don't drop it today, which the farther we get into the day, the more likely it is that it does not drop today. But if they do not drop it today, I would imagine it still drops before their earnings call. T. Frank says Grove Street Games is trolling. I don't know who you're talking about. Is that somebody in chat, or is it like a YouTuber or something? I didn't base my prediction off of any YouTuber, any Reddit thread, any conspiracy theory, nothing like that. This guy says, it drops for the 21st, which is the earnings call for Take 2. That's what I think. I think no matter what, GTA 6 Trailer 3 drops before that earnings call, somewhere between now and then. Oh, the Trailer 3 fake YouTuber. I'm kind of surprised they let that kind of thing happen. And Siege Master gets us our next milestone on the channel, 51 members. I owe you guys a member. Let me go ahead and do that now. Every 25, I gift one back. If you guys have never done a membership before on YouTube, you can become one today. For $5 a month, it supports what I do full time. We do a talk show like this Monday through Friday, and I do keep it safe for work. And a single comes in from Joker Quinn and bumps it to 52. Trailer 3 is not coming out until after the earnings. Trailer 2 came out before earnings, so I don't know. There's no way to There's no way to know. I think it's going to come out before, just like the last time. Trailer 2 came out before the earnings call. You think it drops in 10 minutes? So you think it drops at 11? I feel like if it doesn't drop at noon, it's probably not happening. The first one was scheduled for 9. The second one was scheduled for 9:30. I could see them just being like 10 o'clock would have been perfect, right? 9, 9:30, and 10. But if it doesn't drop at noon, it's probably not happening. Last time he does a waiting room. There were 3 other times that there were rumors about Trailer 2. And then there was sometime earlier this year, there were rumors about Trailer 3. And we didn't do waiting rooms. We didn't. It's been a long time since we've done one. This was purely based off of my own hunch. I just thought that's the day they're going to do it. That's what I thought. I wasn't the only one. There was one other creator doing the same thing today, thinking like this could be the day. And I think the reason he stopped is because once it got past 9 and 9:30, once it got past 9 or 9:30, he probably just assumed they weren't going to do it because that's when the last ones hit. They would have dropped it before the stock market opened. That's possible. That's possibly why they like dropping it when they do, but 9:30 is after, isn't it? You think we might get gameplay next month? Grove Street Games tweeted that something huge is dropping today is where I got it from. You lied. I'm taking you to court. Thank you, Wheeze. I can't wait to see you in court. That way, if you slap me, the bailiff will arrest you. May 26th on Trailer 2 video thumbnail, because at the time it was releasing on May 26th. Yes. Yes. Diplomatic immunity? How would you have diplomatic immunity? I mean, do you know the bailiff? Like, how are you going to get away with that? You know what I mean? This ain't some Will Smith scenario, Weeze. They're not going to give you an award after slapping me. You know what I'm saying? This is a different timeline. You got inside people? You don't need to tell us about your personal life. I don't need to know who you've been inside. On in chat, have we already talked about the detail of the Bloomberg report that Sony might have a marketing deal? He doesn't. I think people are running with that headline a little haphazardly. He doesn't confirm it. He confirms it in a passive way. You know what I'm saying? It's passive confirmation, but it's not really confirmation. Because he doesn't say, "Oh yeah, we have a marketing deal with Sony." Like, how does he answer it? Let me get the quote. To me it's like GTA 6 Sony marketing deal. I didn't want to run with that. I saw everybody running with that, and I ran with he's terrified. The expectations are terrifying because like he literally said that. Schreier says Zelnick said the window of console exclusivity was not related to the company's marketing deal with PlayStation. But that's not what he said. A $5 super chat. I wonder amazing PCs across the world are going to be doing the day GTA 6 comes out. I don't really think about that. Reverted Cloud says, see my last. They normally do a tweet on Tuesday at 9:30, and they have already announced Red Day Weekly. Yeah, I don't think that's how we're going to figure this one out. I don't think that's how we're going to figure this one out, is by like looking at their social activity. Every time we've tried to do that, we've ended up wrong. On the subject of prioritizing, no, I need the actual article. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. I don't want quotes. I don't want summaries. I want the actual dadgum article. Okay. I'm trying to find it. Okay, here we go. Zelnick said that the window of console exclusivity was not related to the company's marketing deal with PlayStation maker Sony Corp. No, he said. I mean, historically, Rockstar's gone to console first. I need to see the question. We don't get to see the question. The question presumes there's a marketing deal. Was that stated? Do you understand what I'm saying? Zelnick doesn't say anything about a marketing deal. He just says, no, I mean, historically, Rockstar's gone to console first. It's a risky decision that might end up limiting the game's audience. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, if the question was specifically phrased, well, we know you have a marketing deal with PlayStation. Is that in any way related to the console being first? And he says, no, I mean, historically, Rockstar's gone to console first. Listen. I think there is a marketing deal. He doesn't state that there is one. Do you see? He doesn't state that there is one. When is the trailer coming? We don't know. The title of the stream is that I think it's happening, homie. I think it's happening. You guys need to read it. You know what I mean? You just cool off a little bit. So people are running with the headline that, like, Strass Zelnick confirms marketing deal with Sony. And I'm like, he kind of doesn't, though. Is there still a possibility of it dropping today? I think once we get past noon Eastern time, probably not. So I think we have about another hour, and then I'm just going to be like, yeah, it's probably not happening. I don't think they would do it that late in the day. They like to do these things early in the day. Didn't they just confirm a marketing deal? But he didn't. He didn't. We can't see the question that Schreier asked him. It just says, you know, when asked about whether or not, you know, console was because the console exclusivity was because of a marketing deal with Sony, he says no. But we can't see the phrasing of the question. If we can't see the phrasing of the question, then Strass Zelnick has not stated anything about a marketing deal with Sony. He passively confirms it if, in fact, the question was verbalized or phrased in a way that was like, well, we know you have a marketing deal with Sony. Is that why it's going to console first? And he's like, no, that's not why. Hello, everybody. We accidentally deleted GTA 6 files. See you in 2049. What do you think about GameStop trying to buy eBay? Maybe they'll get rid of the scalpers. Probably not. The markets don't lie. Money is waiting on the table for Rockstar on the Switch 2. I don't think so. I don't think GTA 6 is going to Switch 2, brother. Literacy is lost. Is there a marketing deal? Maybe, but that wasn't the question. Well, Jason Schreier is asking the question presuming there's a marketing deal. That presumption is not corrected by Strass Zelnick. But if Strass Zelnick heard and was like, oh, is there any kind of a deal here related to the exclusivity? And he's like, no. Like, I would need to see the exact phrasing of the question. How was the question phrased to him? Not GTA 6, but Red Dead 2. Oh, you're talking about Red Dead 2. I get what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. There's the rumored Red Dead 2 next-gen update with 60 FPS that we still haven't seen. So... Does GameStop even have the money to buy eBay? I thought GameStop was consistently going down the drain. I don't know where they are currently. Very passive confirmation. Good point, says Street Shadow. I think we have strong assumption that they do have a deal, but it's not confirmation. Strauss is smart. He didn't deny the deal, but he didn't fully confirm it. Well, and that's the thing. The headlines people are running with is that, let me see if I can, let's see. GTA 6 PlayStation marketing deal. Hang on. 6 hours ago, Eurogamer. GTA 6 lands PlayStation 5 marketing deal as Take-Two head implies that PC is not the core audience. You see? Like, we don't know. He doesn't say. Now, this is better phrased. GTA 6 is not blocked from coming to PC by any PlayStation marketing deal. I think that's far better phrasing. GTA 6 pre-order update spotted on PlayStation Store ahead of official reveal. Huh? GTA 6 pre-order update? What's going on? Some hidden content found on the GTA 6 PlayStation Store page was updated and added less than a month ago. It could mean news soon. Oh, that's not recent. Why GTA 6 is not coming to PC at launch, and it's not due to a PlayStation deal. Insider information about GTA 6 and PlayStation contract has been confirmed. So again, they're saying that insider information that we kept hearing about a deal, they're saying that there is a deal probably because of this interview. In an interview, Strass Zelnick confirmed that the Grand Theft Auto 6 advertising campaign will exclusively be dedicated to PlayStation consoles. He did not do that. He did not confirm that. Twisted Voxel. GTA 6 has a marketing deal with PlayStation, coming to consoles before PC to serve the core audience and first at best. GTA 6 skips PC at launch to serve console audience first. Take-Two suggests Rockstar signed GTA 6 marketing deal with Sony. That's a perfectly fine headline. It's suggested. It's like, yeah. It's suggested. IO Interactive CEO Hakan Abrak says he'll do everything in his power to make the delayed Switch 2 version of 007 First Light run well. So yeah, the 007 delay to Switch, there's just going to be a continued theme for Switch 2. Everybody wants to be on the Switch 2 because it's such a huge platform, but yeah. USA Bank wants you to pay $80 for GTA 6 so other devs can charge more. Yeah, we're seeing analysts once again weigh in saying that they think GTA 6 could be more expensive. New Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resync gameplay. Did Game Riot upload this to their YouTube channel? I don't want to watch it on frickin' Twitter. Video player there is so dadgum awful. Looks like we're going to have to. It's not going to look very good as far as like graphics and stuff. It's going to look really blurry. That looks really, really good though. Even for Twitter, that looks really freaking good. Oh my golly. Joe Raptor has all this? Oh, did he put it all on his channel? Looks like the final previews are out for Lego Batman. Yeah, I'm seeing footage for that showing up as well. Ubisoft confirmed that you can toggle your HUD off and on in Resynced. Yeah, Synth Potato. Everybody that's a Ubisoft partner is uploading that footage right now. Never trust a Raptor. By 1 p.m. for the latest? I don't know. I'm serious. If it doesn't land at noon, I don't think it's coming today. I really thought it was today. I looked and I thought, it's been a year. It's Cinco de Mayo. Earnings calls in 2 weeks. It's a Tuesday. It makes sense. There were others who clearly thought the same thing. I wasn't the only one who was doing like a waiting stream for it today. Yeah, 5 hours ago, LC uploaded a video saying there could be a GTA 6 trailer 3. Today could be the day. TGG says, I hope it's today. Michael says, this is probably coming today, so the wait likely continues. Yeah, because the Red Dead thing, they're saying the same thing. Yeah, the GTA 6 Countdown Twitter account suggested it would be today as well. Anonymous says, as always, Rockstar Games puts PC last in line for GTA 6. GTA 6 boss defends late PC release, saying console must be served first and best as they're the series core. Yeah, the anonymous group is talking. That's weird. Which one of the first trailers dropped at like 6 p.m.? Well, it wasn't supposed to drop at 6 p.m. It dropped at 6 p.m. because of a leak. The first trailer got leaked. Serious question, is there even an actual chance? I think there is a chance, yes. We're exactly 1 year away from trailer 2. Their earnings call is in 2 weeks, and it's a holiday. These are good reasons to drop it. Yeah, I saw that. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 will not land on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. I think they dropped that because I think GTA 6 opens the runway for them to drop that. They know that a bunch of their consumers this year will be buying PlayStation 5s. I feel like for some reason it's a June release date for the trailer. June would certainly be a good time to do it. June is showcase season. I mean, the only reason I think they would avoid June is because that's when everybody else is doing something. Like the first 2 weeks of June is just nothing but announcements and trailers and events. Now maybe they could go second half of June and be like, yeah, we're not. I don't think they're going to do anything with PlayStation at their State of Play. I don't think they're going to do anything with Summer Game Fest. They just kind of do their own thing. That's why I thought they've gone kind of quiet. All of a sudden, Strass Zelnick's talking, doing interviews. All of a sudden, Strass Zelnick is like basically confirming the release date. And I was like, that's because they're getting ready to do something. They're getting ready to talk. They're getting ready to say something because this guy's out here doing interviews. He's sitting down with Bloomberg. He jokes about when, you have no message. It says I have priority messages. I do not get why they're doing this. And then I can't close these. They have jacked up messages again on Twitter. End of June, you expect Red Dead 2? That's just your speculation. I'm really interested to see how many people are still on old gen post GTA 6. Trailer 1 was days before the Game Awards. Yeah, like they didn't wait for the Game Awards. I saw a video on YouTube about GTA. It had a picture of a car with a number of 555. So I'm thinking 5th at 5. Yeah, see, but every time we've done that, every time we've gone down the rabbit hole of like images and clues, it's all been for nothing. So like 555, right? May 5th at 5. That would just be such a random time to drop a trailer. It's so late in the day. I just don't know. The first trailer was supposed to drop at 9 a.m. Eastern. They dropped it later in the day before, because somebody leaked it. The second trailer dropped at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. They seem to like to do things early in the day. So I don't know if they would do it that late in the day at 5 o'clock. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, 5 is a perfectly fine time to do it, but I just don't know. Does this guy think he's going to trick us? Is that what he thinks is going to happen here? He just keeps spamming it's out. Yeah. You totally got us. Look how many people you tricked. Everybody fell for it. I just quickly refreshed their YouTube channel. And it's not. 555 is just a placeholder number. Movies always use fake phone numbers. Yeah, I don't think there's any significance to the 555. Rockstar are crunching to get GTA 6 out. That's another video that hit from Dark Viper. Yeah, that was the the thing that hit yesterday as well, the Glassdoor reviews. Assuming the release date is still November, June gives them 5-ish months or so of ramping up marketing. I think the marketing that ramps up is going to be separate from trailer 3, though. I think it's going to be separate. I think they'll drop the trailer, and then like a month later, they'll start dropping like marketing, like images, things like that. Yeah, if you search for GTA 6 trailer 3, a lot of people an hour ago, soon, 5 hours ago, is it's today, last night a video, then there's us, yeah. We're not the only ones that we're looking at today. Like, I don't think we're off in left field, you know, feeling it might be today. Winged Wheel gifts a member and gets us to 53. How do you know it's coming out today? I don't. That's why the title of the stream is I Think. People gave me grief in the show open, so I switched the title. It's like, all right, fine. I'll title it I Think. I think the GTA 6 trailer 3 drops today, so that no one can be like, you're claiming it drops today. No, I am not. The description clearly states that I think it is. Nothing official. So it was purely a prediction. Mike Crazy saying the beam-to-beam parkour flows way smoother compared to the world reveal gameplay. The little pause and adjust, Edward, seems to be removed. Hidden One thinks the parkour looks even better now in the newest footage of AC Black Flag Resynced. Speculation stream. Throw out your wildest predictions. A lot of people's predictions center around performance, size of the world, stuff like that. I think it's ready to drop. It's just about the timing. Yeah, I don't disagree with you. Good morning, Winged Wheel. How are you? They usually drop trailers later on in the day instead of when they post Red Dead Newswire, so still possible for today. People were saying that they typically only post in the morning, though. Is that true? We had a 50-50 chance of it either being today or on May 12th. Doesn't look like it's today. It's already 11 a.m. in New York City. Rockstar would have dropped it by now. They'll open pre-orders before the next earnings call, I think. That was my other thought, is they wanted like a solid 2 weeks for pre-orders. If they do it, if they drop the trailer next week, that's a solid week of pre-orders. But that was the other thing I was thinking, is they'd want to be able to walk into the earnings call and say, we're already showing strong signs of revenue with pre-orders alone. Yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag got like 1 million wish lists. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Today does make sense. The UFC 6 trailer gives me a feeling. I have no idea how you're connecting those two things. GTA 6 Trailer 2 dropped at 11 a.m. last year, and Trailer 1 would have dropped at 9 a.m. if it wasn't leaked a day early. Trailer 2 dropped at 9:30 a.m., I thought, Christopher. We looked it up. It was 9:30. I thought I looked up the tweet. GTA 6 Trailer 2. It dropped it dropped during a morning coffee. Yeah, like here's their tweet. 9:20 a.m. May the 6th. It was 11 a.m. Eastern time. I don't think so, brother. I'm looking at the tweet right here for Trailer 2. It says 9:29 a.m. Unless this timestamp is jacked up, that's supposed to be my time. They released trailers and did pre-orders for Red Dead 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5 weeks before an investor call 2 for both of those games. I'm sure it'll come at some point any day now, says Kitty Cat over there on Twitch. It's not today. High probability next week. Hold on, when are you dropping the OnlyFans link? It's always tomorrow. Why do we wait specifically for it right now? It's been a year. It's been 1 year. It's Cinco de Mayo. I don't know. It just felt right. Might have gotten one of the other trailers mixed up. They almost always drop a trailer by 11 a.m. or earlier. Yeah. I told folks that if we get past noon today and it doesn't drop, I don't think it's today. I still think it drops between now and the earnings call. I do. I don't think they're going to wait. I think they're going to want to drop it before the earnings call, and they're going to want to open up pre-orders. Insider Gaming reviewed Saros and gave it a 9. And the guy waited to review it until he had a platinum. That's pretty good. Tomorrow is 1 year. Right, but I thought they would do it on a Tuesday. It'll be next Tuesday for sure if it's not today. How much do I think the game is going to cost? That is the big debate. A lot of people are curious. Is it going to be 70? Is it going to be 80? I've continued to say they're going to get more money if they just drop it at the 70. If they just drop it at the 70 and they do a deluxe edition, like a digital deluxe edition for early access for $100. Because remember, the release date's kind of weird. The release date is a Thursday. Okay, it's a Thursday. That's a little strange, isn't it? Well, Saros' release date was also a Thursday. So, I think Saros did 2 days of early access with like their digital deluxe edition. And I think they're going to do the same thing with GTA 6. So I don't know if you need to raise the price of the base version of the game past 70. You can sell it for 70, and then you can do a digital deluxe edition for $100, 48 hours of early access, and then they'll sell more of that copy than anything. Because everybody's going to want to play. Everybody's going to want to play like that Tuesday. Making up for IGN score. I don't know if it's going to raise the score on Metacritic. I think Insider Gaming does. I think they do contribute to Metacritic, but I don't think it'll raise the score. Recently added. Yeah, the most recently added one is Critical Hits on May the 3rd. So I don't know if Insiders is on there. I thought they got approved. To contribute to Metacritic. I do like that they're on a 10-point score. If they are a contributor to Metacritic, that'll interpret better with the aggregate tool instead of doing whatever the frick these 5-point guys do. They're perfectly capable of making bank at the normal price point. Going up will just piss people off. The difficulty that you're going to run into is if they know they can charge 80 and it won't affect sales at all, you have to think at $10, right? Every million sales, that's an extra $10 million. Okay. Estimates are that this game could sell between 20 and 25 million copies day one. Okay. So if you sell 25 million copies and then you're making $10 on each of those copies extra, that's absurd. Like, that's an absurd amount of money to just leave on the table. 200, what did that be? 250 million? What is that, $250 million? Leaving that on the table, I just don't know if they'll do it. The early access for $100, I think, is a better play. If you get, say, out of the 25 million people that buy day one, let's say half of those people are willing to pay the extra to get it early. 12 something million people spend the extra $30. Well, what is that? That's 300. It's $300 million extra dollary dues. So, like, I think $100 for the digital deluxe early access makes more sense. And thank you so much for Freddie for renewing your membership. 56 months in a Member Plus. When is the trailer? Or where is the trailer? I don't know. The title is that I think they drop it today. I think they drop it today. It's just a prediction. They could charge extra. They could 100% charge extra. They could. The other thing to consider is with the price discussion, it might be easier to sell a $100 digital deluxe edition if the base price is $80. Because people are like, well, it's $80 or $100. Well, it's only a $20 difference. It might be harder to sell the digital deluxe at $100 if your base price is $70. The difference between it being $20 more and $30 more is why I think, and this is just me estimating, that they make that value proposition seem like a deal. It becomes, $20 and I get so much in early access. Like if they charge $80 and then add $20. Oh, so yeah, Wheezy just said the exact same thing. Yeah. I could totally be convinced that would make better sense to them on paper. If the base price was $80 and the digital deluxe is $100, it's easier for people to convince themselves to buy the digital deluxe. They're like, well, it's $20. But when it's a $70 base and $100 for digital deluxe, people are like, I don't know, $30. That's like half the price of the game extra. That's like a 50% price increase. So yeah, that might make them say, yeah, we should do 80 base, $100 digital deluxe. Forza, if you want early access, is $120. Jiminy Christmas. Where's the GTA 6 trailer? I've already answered you. So, like all the others that just comes in and they just spam it. Yeah, there you go. Rockstar has never done early access for their games. Okay, so I want you to think about something. They've never done early access for their games, okay? The last game they released was 8 years ago. It wasn't really a concept back then, okay? It wasn't a concept. 8 years ago, nobody was doing this. They've set the release date for GTA 6 on a Thursday. You don't think that's a little bit weird? That it's 2 days after a Tuesday and it's not on a Friday? That, to me, it looks exactly like what Saros did. Saros picked the Thursday release date. Then they did 48 hours of digital deluxe early access. You can't do... This is why I think a lot of the analysis of like their marketing in the past, their scheduling in the past, I think a lot of that is wasted effort because like the market's completely different now. The calculus is completely different now. Humans are fickle. There's a reason why people balk at the price of $1 and smile at 99 cents. Right. Maybe you meant to say bail. Thursday is the new Friday for 2-day early access. That's right. Oh, balk. You meant to say balk. Is today No Pants Tuesday? If you work from home, every Tuesday is No Pants Tuesday. $120 early access is like buying 2 games. It comes with more than that. It comes with the Forza Horizon early access is 4 days early. You get 2 premium expansions that are coming post-launch. You get an Italian Passion car pack that's coming post-launch. A Time Attack car pack, a car pass, a VIP membership, and a welcome pack. You're getting a lot for that $120. You're not just paying for early access. You're getting 48 hours of early access. And you're getting, content and expansions and things that are coming after the fact. I think there's definitely a possibility they make the base price $80 and they sell exclusive version for $100. I would never pay triple-digit dollars for early access. Absolutely preposterous. Waste of money. That is the beauty of the market. Is to you it's a waste, but to others it's like they want to be in their moment one. So, you think Thursday or next Tuesday? Oh, this Thursday or next Tuesday it drops? I could see that. It's funny, when other game companies charge for early access, it's a crime. But when Granddad Rockstar does it, it's the best value you can get. Who said that? Who are you talking to? I don't think anybody here said anything about it being the best value you can get or defended it. We're just making predictions about what they might do. Deakins with the $5 super chat says, am I the only one who thinks GTA 6 is getting overhyped? I played 5 for a week and put it down. I couldn't get into the game. GTA 6 price. We don't know, but we low know. Just a statement. I don't know if anybody's defending it. It's called a prediction and meeting the argument where they expect them to. It's literally business 101. Yeah, I don't think anybody has actually said that it's totally fine. I don't mind people charging for early access. I don't. It's a premium perk to get in early. I don't have an issue with it. I know there are people that don't like it. I know there are people that get really upset by it. It does not bother me. It bothers other people. The reason it doesn't bother me is you can just completely ignore it. Save the money and play it on the launch day. Here's another reason I like it. It empowers content creators to jump in line as a business expense, and then you get to see the game early as well. It benefits the consumer to a certain degree, because you have a bunch of content creators that get early access and review access, and obviously you might think, well, that's going to shade their judgment of the game. Well, if it does, guess what? Again, you have an advantage. You can watch countless streams, and day one, or not day one, I'm sorry, multiple days before day one. And when you do that, you can make an assessment of the game, and it didn't cost you anything. And the streamer's going to do it because it's a business expense, and to them, it's worth doing. It's worth being in there moment one. I hated Diablo 4 doing it, for example, because they knew it was an advantageous position to have an ARPG, for an example. Oh, yeah, especially for like a grind to getting ahead, for sure. Early access perks are for the enthusiasts that go beyond their normal fan appreciation. Like I keep saying, says Hidden Sirio, at the very worst, GTA 6 will be a fun open-world crime game. I mean, I'm complaining, but I did pay $80 for the Expanse Osiris Reborn from a far less well-known studio, in part because of the beta and the early access. Is there another hobby whose enthusiasts complain about paying extra for extra features? I don't think so. Early access to me is just dumb. Never liked it, no matter how you slice it. Well, to me, the benefit there is that if you don't value it, you can just ignore it. You know? Hilly says, the true release date for me is the day I buy the game. I don't like it, but I know why it's beneficial to the company. Avowed had a $90 early access. That was crazy expensive. GTA 6 doesn't need early reviews. It will sell out. I don't think anybody's saying it needs it, but they can certainly make a ton of money doing it. Paying for a head start in a multiplayer game is the only thing I have an issue with. Yeah, and I think that's completely legitimate for people to be like, hey, now, you're letting people, cut in line. A lot of the times when games have done that none of the racing and none of that should start until the official launch date. But again, the problem would be you still then have people that have like an advantage because they were in there ahead of time. What do you wash your hair with? I use the Dr. Squatch shampoo. I like it. They have like a bourbon, it's like a bourbon scent. They have like a cologne, and then they have like the deodorant and the lotion and all that. I just buy their variety pack of bars from Amazon because it's super cheap. So, where's the trailer? Please find Charlie Intel's channel. I wanted to read what I just got a notification for, but I don't know how to use Twitter. Yeah, I'm getting my haircut tomorrow. It's out of control. It's a bit much. A true bourbon lover. Yeah, I bathe in bourbon. I do. Duke Cannon for me, but I don't have hair. This man loves bourbon so much he wants to smell like it. Yeah, where's the trailer, Lebowski? That's right. If it's not here in the next 25 minutes, boys, I don't think it's happening today. That's just too late in the day. They like to do it earlier in the day. So, I thought today was the perfect day. You should do the subscription. It's so much better than buying from Amazon. Wait, like they have their own subscription to their soap or their shampoo or whatever? I get a new batch every 3 months. Oh, I didn't realize they did that. Does it average out to be about $6 a bar? Because that's what it averages out to on Amazon. Go to their actual website. I'd love to work with them. Their stuff's good. Oh yeah, it's a 6-pack for $36. So yeah, it's $6 a bar. It's the same. You get points even though you get money off. The problem I have with them is they never have like just the kind that I want. Like I literally just want the frickin' the bourbon, the wood barrel bourbon. That's all I want. Can I just get 6 of those? If I do it through their website, it's $6.65 per bar, and I can get all wood barrel bourbon. So you can do it through them, and it does end up being pretty decent. You can like go and do your own bundle. They do let you do that. That's not bad. I feel like the one that we do on Amazon, I still feel like it ends up being cheaper than that though. Which if it's not cheaper by much, let's see. I get a 10-pack for, let's see. I get a 10-pack for $60 flat. So it is 65 cents cheaper. But the problem with that is then I end up with a bunch of different kinds. I should just reach out to them and see if they want to partner and be like, you know what I mean? Like, I know they partner with content creators. We're like, listen, I'm in Kentucky and I love bourbon and I love your bourbon soap, but, you know. If the trailer doesn't appear in the next 20 minutes, what's your new prediction? I don't have a day prediction if it doesn't land today. I would think it will land before the 21st. I think they're going to do it before the next earnings call. That's what I think. I think they want to get it out there. I think they want to get pre-orders going. They want to do it before the next earnings call. Because the earnings call is on the 21st. Honestly, a whole year without any new info is insane. May 26th is the release date. I don't know if they would do the release date, though, because that's 5 days after their earnings call. I want you to think about what they would have done if that was the actual release date. If that was the actual release date, there would have been 5 to 6 months of pre-orders. Like, that, I feel like that's what they would have done. 5 to 6 months of pre-orders. Did you record the entire story of Saros with your run-through? No, you can't record the story unless... I'd have to play through the whole game fresh, and then you wouldn't get the story because you constantly have to go back to base. Why would they release a trailer after the earnings call? That's what I'm saying. It would be before. It would 100% be before, not after. They're gonna, again, my theory is they want to get that thing out. They want to get it, get the trailer out, and get pre-orders going before the earnings call. They're going to want to be able to walk into the earnings call. Yo, Mr. Stonespire bumps the line by 1. He's trying to tempt the first 20 bomb of the week. Every 25, I gift a member So if somebody drops a 20 bomb right now, I will owe your platform member. D-Tom hits 56 months and a VIP. Do you think their silence is a detriment or it'll work out for them no matter what? Thanks for all the great gaming content. Thank you so much for being with me that many months, dude. I don't think it's a detriment. I think that the marketing of video games, Joker Quinn was too slow to ruin it. D-Tom's renewal already did. Joke's on you, Joker Quinn. I think that there's a lot to be said for silence. I think there's a lot to be said for silence because pre-order this early? Yes. For a game in November, 6 months of pre-orders, you better freaking believe it. I think that you can really, really leverage silence, and GTA 6 and Rockstar can certainly leverage silence. I think they're one of the few companies that can. Thank you, Red Bell, for using your Prime over there on Purple. 6 months of subs. We don't even have the third trailer, and the hype is palpable. Yeah, like, people were anticipating a third trailer today. It's why we're getting people coming in and asking about it. Like, I wasn't out of my head thinking today might be the day. Apparently, I'm in good company. There's lots of people searching for it literally today. I think people thought. It's been a year. It's a Tuesday. It's in the same month as the earnings call. Like, it's a good time to drop the trailer and start your pre-orders. Red Dead Online news came today. GTA 6 trailer 3. Nah. Well, what you'd have to do is GTA 6 trailer 2 tweet. Okay. And then you'd have to do advanced Twitter search. All right. So you go to advanced Twitter search and you say, I want to see tweets from Rockstar Games. Just, let's see, from these accounts. And then I'm going to go May 5th to the 7th last year. Okay. I don't know why we're getting a hype train, but we are. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if you search their Twitter activity, I searched May 5th to May 7th. Okay? That's the only thing they tweeted in that time frame. So there was basically a 3-day period where they said nothing on the 5th. They tweeted the trailer on the 6th, and they said nothing on the 7th. So to be fair, I think you're correct that, like, them posting something about Red Dead Online today, it probably... And Wired Rope drops a 5 bomb to help the hype train along. He's like, well, if you're going to do a hype train, let's just do a hype train. Bungie should take notes on leveraging silence. Yeah, I've talked about that before with Bungie. Like, they could certainly leverage silence. They certainly could. So, yeah, I think it's totally fair to be like, yeah, they already did something today. They did the Red Dead tweet. That's pretty much it. What time are you expecting? I thought it would have been out by now. If it doesn't happen in the next 15 minutes or so at noon, it probably isn't happening. And again, I think people are correct to say, and there's a single that comes in from Broken Earth. Broken Earth's going to attempt a 10 bomb. He's going to bump it one more time. Joker Quinn will likely ruin it. Somebody try to drop that 10 bomb before Joker Quinn ruins it. He's the ruiner. Every 25 I owe a member, and we're getting close to the next one at 75. Bungie can't afford to leverage silence right now. All their stuff's falling apart. If that's the case, why say anything? Broken Earth with the single gets us to 65. We're 10 away from 75. Hello, I have a question about Saros, or anyone in chat can answer. In Saros, is it better to clear Biome 1 and go straight to 2, or go back to Passage first? Does it matter? You only want to go back to Passage if the game is requiring you to. If you're having a good run and you feel strong, just keep going. There it is. Joker Quinn ruins it. You guys were too slow. Nobody dropped it. You don't. Yeah, just go to the next biome. Yeah. You're going to carry your strength from biome 1 into 2. any proficiency you've got, any stats that you've got. Yeah. If you guys are just tuning in, we think if the trailer doesn't land in the next 15 minutes or so, it's probably not landing today. As you come in, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We do a daily talk show Monday through Friday at Safe for Work. We cover a variety of gaming news topics. And Corgi rolled us over on the hype train with a Prime renewal of 14 months. Thank you so much, Corgi. Remember the 6-month seasons in Destiny 2? Silence would not help Bungie. I think it would help Bungie at this point because they're not. I don't think they're going to be doing anything with Marathon in Destiny 2 that's significant. Never kill a run, just keep going. I mean, yeah, there really is not a reason to kill a run. You're like, oh, but I could go back. It's going to count it. Well, no, actually, if you can go back with the teleporter, let's say your schedule's just not going to permit you to keep playing and you don't want to pick up where you currently are, you can use the teleporter and go back and you won't get a death penalty. If you would like to keep your power, just keep going, even if you can't keep playing. It'll save where you are. Just come back the next day and pick up where you left off. You're basically doing it for the Lucenite to upgrade. I mean, you can, and then you can upgrade, but then when you go, if you use the teleporter, you will not lose your Lucenite. But when you go back into Biome 2, it will reset any of the level gains that you've got in Biome 1. It'll reset them all to whatever your current proficiency is. You have a proficiency out of the box, basically. Even if it's in the middle of the biome. No, don't go back in the middle of a biome. That's pointless. That's pointless. You might as well keep going. You might as well keep going. Because if let's say you play for another 10 minutes and then you die, okay, you probably got more Lucenite in that 10 minutes. If you just go back, well, you're not going to get any. You're going to get the Lucenite death penalty no matter what. You get the Lucenite death penalty if you use the menu and go back. If you use, there's a teleporter in between biomes that you can use to go back. That will not give you the death penalty. Does that make sense? There is no death penalty for using that teleporter. That's completely legitimate and allowed. What? I just got an email. They're following up on a 12-year-old email. I was like, what? I recognize this. It's 12 years ago when I was doing a completely different business. And they're following up. Like, you might be a good fit. I'm like, this is from 12 years ago. I've been holding out hope that you guys would get back to me. I was so confused. I was like, wow. It was from whenever I did graphic design. Yeah, it's about time. I should reply and be like, man, it's about time you guys got back to me. It's been 12 years. Yeah, I'm in a completely different line of work now and don't do this. I put my life on pause for this. I'm on my last hour of my phone. I'm in an alleyway. I'm mooching off of Starbucks Wi-Fi to reply to this. You know what I mean? Oh man. The trailer just dropped. Oh man, you totally tricked us. You got us. You did. You fooled us. Look at chat. Look how fooled everybody is. I have their YouTube channel and the Twitter feeds open right now. Like, you're not gonna get me, bro. How are you sure it's gonna drop today? Well, I never said I was sure. I said I thought it would drop today. It's been a year since the last one. It's Cinco de Mayo, and then 2 weeks is their earnings call. I still think the thing drops before the earnings call. I think it's probably sometime this week. I think it's sometime this week, yeah. I think they want to open up pre-orders and walk into their earnings call with the third trailer hit. Total view count for all of our marketing is at whatever the total is, and then you start talking about, like, you know, based on their climb clear loop. It was some kind of an agency I reached out to. Trailer 3 is not dropping today. If it doesn't drop in the next 10 minutes, I think you're correct. Yeah. I thought it was today. Drop a short teaser. I don't want any more spoilers. I mean, I don't want spoilers. I would like some actual gameplay. I am genuinely curious what gameplay is going to look like. Yeah. I would like some actual gameplay. Yeah. Trailer 3 just dropped, everyone. I'm really happy. It's always funny to me that, like, if it dropped, is that what you would do? You know what I mean? If it dropped, would you come here and say that? Give me 1 second. I need a quick break. GTA 3 trailer is out now. It is? Oh my gosh. I missed it. So I think Rockstar never even started developing the game, and then trailer 1 and 2 was just AI. The game isn't even real, guys. Didn't have a script for the game. I mean, I've seen some pretty wild theories. That's a pretty wild one. Have you seen Timothy Kane's video, How the Internet Changed Game Design? I have not. I know that someone quoted it and said something to the effect of, like, he thinks that streamers can influence what people think about a game. Like, people will go to a streamer and then they'll think whatever the streamer thinks. I actually don't know how much I agree with that. I think there are certainly people that do that. I think the vast majority of people have their predisposition and they find somebody that affirms their predisposition. Does that make sense? Like, I just, my experience has largely been people are like, oh, I think this game's going to suck, or I think this game's going to be amazing. And I think they find somebody who's saying that so that they can feel affirmed. Like, they're looking for emotional validation. They're not looking, like, people do not show up as a blank canvas to content. Like, oh, I'm looking to have this person influence what I think. I think there are people that are very impressionable and, like, they really trust somebody. So, like, if I told you guys that the controls felt bad and the moment-to-moment just didn't feel as crisp and was kind of clunky in Soros, you would obviously trust me. And that might influence what you think. Because you're like, well, I trust Lono. He's got, 220 hours in Returnal. I mean, that says a lot, right? So that might potentially influence what you think. So there are certainly people that are like, well, I really trust this guy on Call of Duty. I really trust this guy on fighting games and Souls games. Like, if Maximilian's like, yeah, this fighting game kind of sucks, people are probably going to, take his opinion and it's going to influence them to a degree. But I really, really do not think people show up as a blank canvas. Like, well, I don't know what I think and you will shape what I think. There's influence, but I don't think it's like, I think people want their opinion validated. They come for opinion validation, not opinion formation, largely. I would not have bought Soros. Oh yeah, there's certainly people that would not have purchased Soros if it wasn't for either my content or the content of others that said, like, yeah, it's a lot more approachable. Wasn't the date for the previous trailer in September? No, it was basically exactly 1 year ago, May the 6th. So, if it doesn't drop in the next couple of minutes, I don't think it's dropping today. It'll be too late in the day. Obviously, I've got everything ready to go. If they do drop one, we'll obviously come back and do a reaction. But I'm not going to belabor the point. We get to a certain point, and it's just like, it's not productive to just sit here and disappoint people. The one time we just kept waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. I'm not going to be doing that this time. Obviously I can get a bunch of views doing that. I don't want to do that. The last time we did this and we waited and we waited and we waited, I don't even know. I think it was like 150,000 views on the video. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to sit here all day and belabor the point. I think it's clear that when you get to a certain time of the day, they're not going to do it. Like the last time we did this for trailer 2, when we did it for 10 hours, we got, 158,000 views. I'm not doing that this time. And then the next time we did it, we streamed for like 4 hours. Yeah, this time I'm going to go for even even shorter window. I can't help that guy. I mean, I don't know if you guys want to answer him. Good Hash is asking about the trailer. A prime example, I trust your opinion and watch you play South of Midnight. You didn't like the combat. I played the game later and really enjoyed the combat and the game overall. Right, so like you didn't go into that game thinking, yeah, combat's gonna suck, Lono's always right. You're like, oh, Lono didn't like the combat. You played it and you're like, oh, the combat's fine, right? The whole Soros is woke thing is so tiring. Gamers really like to complain about everything these days. Well, the weird thing about that is there's an entirely new thing taking place. And what's taking place now is there are men who are just perpetually angry, and they would like to stay angry, and they don't even care if it's a fake. They don't care if it's a lie. They don't care if it's dishonest. They don't care. If it fuels their rage, they consume it. They don't care that it's a completely made up thing. It's an AI image. It's not what happens in the story. It's a one-off sentence that has no significant bearing on the story. So many people are claiming that Soros is about male humiliation. I think it's the biggest self-report I think I've ever seen. They're basically saying that self-reflecting on mistakes and trying to improve and have ownership and apologizing, they think that's male humiliation. These are probably the same people that think going to therapy is a sign of weakness. They probably think that going to therapy is stupid. It's not masculine to go get help. That it's such a fake version of masculinity and toughness. It's just a self-report to be like, well, if a man stares at himself straight face in the mirror, owns his mistakes and tries to be better and come back stronger, yeah, that's male humiliation. And it's like, that's just such a self-report about what you think about your own existence. Like, they're probably the type of people that think going to therapy is lame and weak and they would never do it. Like, their version of masculinity is just so paper thin. It is just so paper thin. It is not a story of male humiliation. He's not made out to be an idiot. He's not made out to be like a bumbling dum-dum, right? He's not. He is somebody that is just like in Returnal. It's a psychological study of what trauma and grief can do to a person. Like, of what trauma and grief can do to a person. What trauma and self-destructive tendencies can do to a person. It's a cycle of trauma in Returnal, and there very much is a cycle of that in Soros. It is a sign of weakness. No, I think a sign of weakness is a fear and a sensitivity and an insecurity about, like, well, I'm not going to go get help. I'm not going to go, see a therapist or go get my mental health, cared for. I think that's actually a sign of weakness. It's a sign of extended adolescence and insecurity and fear. I think there's such a fragility and such an insecurity in being like, oh yeah, getting help with your mental health is a sign of weakness. The irony is that, like, that's a sign of weakness. You remind me of Andrew Tate. I think you're just baiting. There's nothing I've said that would remind you of Andrew Tate. I think people are just tired of agenda pushing in PlayStation games. What agendas are you speaking to? What are you talking about? I've not played a single one of their games that was agenda driven. It's so much. Is the Soros guy gay? No. So much of what people say about PlayStation games is completely fabricated. They fabricated the ending of Yote to claim that it was some woke agenda game, and it wasn't. It was the literal opposite. She wasn't a girl boss. She wasn't a Mary Sue. She gets humbled a bunch. She gets lectured. She has to grow. She has to change her view. She gets corrected. Her whole worldview changes. It's not a revenge story. It's a redemption story. But you probably saw a tweet claiming what the ending was. And it wasn't. It was fake. And they're doing the same thing with Soros. They're faking the ending. So all of your thoughts on, like, yeah, all these PlayStation games are agenda-driven, you've probably been propagandized to believe a bunch of false things about the stories that aren't true by grifters on Twitter and YouTube who just make things up about video games because there's an audience that will gobble it up. At some level, it's pathetic, and it's a sign of weakness to lack discernment. It's a sign of weakness to be foolish and easily influenced by lies. That's weak. That's weak-minded. Like, it's so weak. The only thing I can think of in Last of Us is making you hate Ellie, trying to get you to like Abby. Yeah, but that's not even what that story is about. that story is about how empty and vapid revenge cycles are and how cycles of violence never end. You're not supposed to get to the end of that game and be like, oh, this is the hero and this is the villain. That's literally the point, is that there isn't one. The end of that game is meant to leave you in despair. It's a straight-faced look at what cycles of violence and revenge actually do. It's empty and hollow and unsatisfying. It's not people. The problem is people try to take The Last of Us Part 1 and 2 and push it into classic villain hero archetypes, and it doesn't frickin' work, because that's not what real life is like. If the world fell apart and people started doing what they did in that video game, if the world fell apart and that started happening, there's no heroes, there's no villains. Just staring straight-faced at this very low view of mankind. It's a very disturbing anthropology. It's a very disturbing anthropology. It's a very disturbing anthropology. It's like watching The Road and being like, staring straight-faced at what humanity would do to itself. It would rip itself apart at the fabric of every scene that you think you can rely on. There's no good, there's no right, there's no wrong. It's all power. It's a complete. It's a study of what humanity would do. So when people look at that and they're like, oh, they wanted you to like her and hate her. It's like, no, that's such superficial analysis of what the story is actually about. It's so superficial. It's like you haven't ascended past Disney movie analysis. It's like you're used to watching Disney movies where there's like a wicked witch and a hero and a damsel. And if it doesn't fit into those archetypes, it's like you don't know what to do with the story. You don't know how to analyze it. Like, it's like outside of basic Disney movie analysis. It's like you're like, they make me hate the good guy. There is no good guy. There is no hero. That's the point. It's a bleak view of humanity. It's a bleak view of what we would do to ourselves and how we would justify. And it creates good moral dilemmas and good discussions. Is it really going to come this day? No, unfortunately, I don't think so. I think we're past the point of it landing today. Yeah, she lost her entire connection to him. That's right. Yeah, that's right. She lost her finger, can't play the guitar. It was her last connection to Joel. And she did so blinded by revenge and anger. And I think that's an honest look at humanity. Like, we would do that. You would do that. You'd go to great lengths to get revenge, but in the process you lose yourself, and you lose your humanity, and you lose your connection to the very thing you're trying to avenge and revenge. It's actually, hilariously enough, it's the most non-woke story ever. At some level, it's like a very conventional, more like wisdom, more like, I don't know. It is a more traditional view of humanity, if you want my honest opinion. There is a far more, you could even argue it has a more traditional Judeo-Christian view of humanity. You could even argue that. You could argue, like, this is actually, like, more historically about, like, prizing forgiveness and not cycle of violence and not taking up vengeance in our own hands and what it does to ourselves and, like, a low view of man. Like, that's actually not a very woke view. It's not a very, like, progressive view. That's not like we're all good inside and the answer to life is in you and you just have to assert your own value and self-fulfillment comes from self-actualization. The frick? It does not push that message at all. It pushes the message that, like, we frickin' suck. And so does revenge, and so do cycles of violence. That's a very traditional, that comes from a very traditional, like, moral framework. There's also literally a murder in the game that is heightened by the fact that there's an unborn child inside the woman, which again would be a very traditional outlook. Again, people have been so propagandized, like they literally think these games do things, say things, and assert things that they never do. They don't. It's absolute insanity. It's a form of insanity at this point. It's a form of insanity. It's like you believe lies because it makes you, I don't know, maybe feel safe or something, to be emboldened with your anger about something that doesn't even exist. I think Tsushima did with Tilu 2, what Tilu 2 was trying to do with Revenge way better. I don't know. I think it's a very, very different approach. To argue it does it better, I think in The Last of Us, it's more... I just think it's more sober. It's more of a straight-faced look at what humanity would do in that kind of a situation. We would just rip ourselves apart, and we would justify it and think that we're the good guys. And being told that you're not the good guy is not fun to hear. So... And I think Tsushima is more of a worldview clash of honor, shame versus pragmatism. Like, there's more of a pragmatic view of, like, doing what's necessary versus honor, shame of the samurai. Like, elevating honor. I did a whole video on it. Like, elevating honor to the degree that you wouldn't save a person's life because you have to kill in an honorable way. Well, that in and of itself is almost a form of idolatry. It's like you've made an idol out of honor to the point that you're willing to sacrifice a person's life because you care more about your standing within that framework of honor. I don't think Tsushima and The Last of Us approach a similar subject. Well, they do, but they don't. They're very, very different. Imagine if you pointed out that Paul isn't a hero in Dune and is simply the early protagonist of the franchise. People hate anything that isn't a straight white male. If they're gay or black, then they are shook. They'd be too scared to say things. You see the team members for Alpha. I didn't even pay attention to that game. Yeah, I didn't pay any attention to that game. That Aphelion game or whatever it's called. People got Pragmata because the Alphabet crowd didn't like it. That's not true either. That's completely made up. A couple of weirdos said weird things on Twitter. There was not some group of people that were like angry about Pragmata. The Alphabet crowd doesn't like Pragmata. That's what I said, homie. It's so made up. It's so made up. I swear I'm just going to start making that what my content's about. Like, de-propagandizing people. Like, that's not a thing. There was not some movement. There was not some group. There wasn't some organized amount of, like, people that were like, well, we are this and we don't like this game. There were a couple of weirdos on Twitter that said weird stuff. The game sold well. It's a brand new franchise, and it's not a culture clash. There is no culture clash over Pragmata. There isn't. It's a mirage. It's all a mirage. To quote one of the best philosophers of our day, a man by the name of Dave Chappelle, Twitter isn't real. Twitter's not a real place. I'm not going to belabor the GTA 6 thing because we're off topic anyway. We're way out in left field. Yeah, so there were nutsos talking nutso is really what it was. There are nutsos talking nutso. That's all it is. It's just a bunch of crazies on Twitter, and then it gets turned into a whole thing. Oh yeah, the left hates Pragmata, and Soros is woke, and the lead character gets cucked. None of that is real. None of that is real. Being discerning and prizing accuracy and truth, that is strength. That's masculine. Being emotional, being manipulable, being gullible, these are not virtues. They're not. They're not respectable virtues. They're not manly. It's like boyish. If you interacted with like boys when they're like 12, they're very easily to manipulate. They're emotional, right? They lack discernment. They're easy to upset. I just think so many people prize things that betray just a complete lack of discernment and wisdom, and like not prizing accuracy or truth. It's just all emotion. Aphelion peaked at 219 players. It's a taxpayer-funded game. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care about the game. I didn't pay any attention to it. Compare the metrics of those weird tweets about Pragmata and the sales of the game and realize that sales have a baked-in hurdle where liking tweets is free and easy. Well, and that is the thing that you have to remember about Twitter is it's an escalation machine. So the more provocative the claim, the more likely it's going to get interaction. The claim could be just completely outrageous, like getting angry about the ending of a game that is fake and an image and that's AI. They did this to Yote. They took an image, they lied about the ending of Yote, and the tweet goes viral. Everybody's angry, and it is fake. It's not real. And the same thing just happened with Soros. An AI image and a fake claim about a fake story. They take a nugget of truth and they misrepresent it, and everybody's angry, and everybody's saying that the game's terrible and this, that, and the third. And it's less like, where is the discernment? Wisdom cries in the streets. Like, it's crying out in the streets. All right. Well, if you subscribed today and you like this kind of content, if you like back and forth, if you like dialogue, I am safe for work. Make sure that you guys hit that like button. Hang on. This chat's the only social media I do. Social media is engineered to make you think it's bigger than it really is. Right. Well, what we do at the end of every day, we usually end around 1. I am going to call it a little bit early. I don't want to belabor the point. We go to a segment called the Green Room. It's in my Discord. It's for members only. If you want to become a member, it's $5 a month. You can click join, and you can come to our Discord. That is how I'm able to do this full time. We are not a very large channel, but we are able to do this full time because of your direct support. So if you've never done a membership on YouTube, try it out for a month. It's $5, and then make sure you get into our Discord. The ending of Last of Us 2 does not work because Ellie killed hundreds of people and dozens of dogs and then stops when she reaches her objective. Yeah, but I'm not going to retread that with you. It's because it's so shallow and hollow and empty. It's unsatisfying. Revenge doesn't work is the whole point. Like, she comes to the realization. She's moments away from it. And it's like, yeah, this is not going to be satisfying. This isn't going to give me what I'm looking for. So, all right. Yeah. Use the join command. Use that thing. Hit like on the way out. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for more video game coverage. We will be also covering the thing on Thursday, which is the Xbox developer update about Project Helix. I'll tell you what we're going to do, too, here at the end. Can you guys do me a big favor? We uploaded a video about a Strass Zelnick interview yesterday, and could you guys give that a watch if you haven't already? If you guys are hanging out on YouTube and Twitch, I'm going to put a link. In chat. You guys can give that a watch. That is going to be super helpful to us. Give that video a little bit of a kick in the pants. It did very, very well yesterday. We like to do uploads. We like to do content. So if you're curious about what Strass Zelnick said, he said this just yesterday about GTA 6. So if you're interested in GTA 6 and why he thinks the expectations are terrifying, click the link in chat and watch my latest video about that interview. It's not very long. Give it a like, hype it up on mobile, and I will see you guys tomorrow.